Roadium Radio.
Hey Tony, drop that. What bass?
I bet. Dr. Dre in the place to be. Co-rockin' shit with my homeboy Steve. After Roadium, get stupid yo. Don't think that you can get none of Dre. The motherfucking doctor, the bitch hopper, the sucker motherfucking stopper. I'm fucked up, so don't mind what I'm saying. I'm just kicking it. But Steve, Tony, A, and Susan, yo, we can choose it. Dope shit to put in a mix. Know what I'm saying? We kick shit like and that's a fact. And if your shit ain't in the mix, you know it's whack. And that ain't no bullshit. I'm kicking facts on a serious tip. Word up, Dr. Dre's in full effect doing serious damage, boy.
Tony A! Tony A! When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 165. And before I introduce my very special guest, have a couple of small announcements I want to make. First and foremost, people are hitting me up once again on the DM as far as can I still submit music? Yes, absolutely. So I always ask you guys to submit music, videos, and a short bio to roadiumradio@gmail.com. Please do not send it to my inbox. I hardly ever check my Facebook messages. I pretty much just post and I get out of Facebook. 90% of the time I'm on Instagram, so you could DM me, but do not send me any links. I do not click on any links through the DM. So send it to roadiumradio@gmail.com and we'll get to it and we'll get back to you in a timely manner. Just give us a little bit of time, because when you receive about 50 emails a day, it's hard to communicate and get back to everyone quickly. So just give us a little bit of time. Also, anybody that wants to buy shirts, hats, beanies, or whatever, the apparel, once again, go to DOCUMIXERY.com. I want to thank everybody that tuned in on Friday for Freaky Tales. We had a great time. For those that haven't gotten a chance to check it out, make sure you go to the Freaky Tales podcast. Make sure you guys hit the bell button for future content. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys like, share, all that good stuff. I had one more announcement that I want to make, but you know what? When I remember, I'll go ahead and I'll announce it. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce my very special guest, Bozo.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, brother.
Great.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to share something with you really quick that you probably didn't know. Okay, Wednesday, December 8th, 2019, you were here, episode 15.
Okay.
150 episodes ago.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Sure.
And it's a trip that to think, you know what was funny? Because actually it was your stunt double. He actually tells me, he goes, hey, man, there's a guy named Bozo. You need to get him. The guy's fired. Everybody's talking about him. And I said, let's book him. You came, and now you're here once again. 150 shows later.
Sure.
So, and a lot of people have been requesting you, so I knew it was time to bring you back. So, other than that, how is your weekend going? Because I know this is a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
So, what is it? Labor Day?
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day. I knew it was one of those. So, how are you spending it so far?
So far, we've been celebrating until today. Even today, actually. So we threw. It was one of my homies, one of my close homies' birthday Friday. We went out. Saturday we did a potluck. We drank a little more, just regular shit though, enjoying the weather because it's been beautiful, right?
Yes.
Like it's been beautiful outside. So just a little potluck on my pad, a little drinking, called it a night like at 10, but then watched a horror movie with my girl, you know what I mean, till midnight. Watching The Unholy. It was all right. Scale 1 to 10, I was a little 6, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then today we ate leftovers because we had so much from the potluck, you know?
Oh, okay.
We had ceviche, we had chicken, fried, everything, you name it, we had it, you know what I mean? So
that's dope.
The kids, we all have kids. So if I don't have the kids, my homie will have all the kids. And so my homie brought the kids back today. The kids were just enjoying the front yard, getting wet with my dog and shit, just chilling. Beautiful day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool, man. You know what? Because I wanted to ask you something specifically about horror movies, because I know you like horror movies.
Yeah.
I like horror movies. I have like a Freaky Tales podcast who hopefully one day you can come, you can share your stories. But I like watching a lot of documentaries, and today I rewatched one documentary. It was called The Foundation, and it was on, I want to say, hip hop something. There's a bunch of series on it. I'm trying to remember the origins, hip hop or origins of hip hop, something like that. But it talked about Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa. It talked about all of these, because I love rap.
Yeah.
And there's times that I'll hear Planet Rock and I'll get the goosebumps. I'll see Grandmaster Flash on the turntables. He was talking about how he came up with scratching and stuff like that. Do you watch a lot of?
I've seen that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. It's a very good documentary. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I do. I study the game for sure. Like as far as hip hop, and that's why I'm so strong with a few stands. Like it's one issue that I'm always asked about is like the N word, us using it.
Yeah.
And being a student of the game and being a real fan of like a lot of the artists that first start, like you just mentioned right now, you said Africa Bambaataa, and then when you talk about them, you go into Zulu Nation, Rocksteady Crew, and then you go into X Clan, and then you go into Sister Soldier. Like when I was growing up, listening to hip hop, there was your regular mainstream hip hop, and then there was your hip hop that was more like Public Enemy, where it was militant civil right type shit, a lot of Black Power type movement, you know what I'm saying? And me as a kid, not even knowing about, not really knowing about the prejudice and all the struggle, I learned through that. You understand what I'm saying? Like the shit that they didn't teach us in school about slavery and about prejudice and about the bombings and all that shit. I learned through hip hop miraculously, you know what I'm saying? So I give them a lot of credit for preaching that struggle and for having so much pride in that, because we don't have that to this day.
Right.
As Chicano rap artists or Latino artists, whatever you want to name. There is no, I think there's a few artists that try and push that. Like I think Hypnotic is real heavy on that conscious type rap. There's a few maybe, but back then it seemed like there was a wave, you know what I'm saying? And they had a little Mexican kid in Southeast LA like feeling that shit, Right. So like a lot of the foundation, I've studied it and grew up studying it. Back then you had to be a real fan, you know what I'm saying? To be up on hip hop and follow it and even have the tapes and singles and all that shit, you know what I mean? You had to go out of your way. So I mean, I watch all the documentaries. They have a new one with Big Hugh and all that, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it too.
Was it the Hip Hop Uncovered?
There you go. Yeah, I even watched that one because it's interesting. Like one thing that was interesting for me this time, paroling and getting back into the rap game, was realizing, like for yourself, how many Latinos are in the background of a lot of these artists' success.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I met dudes like the homie Dope Man, even Hitman that I fuck with, you for instance. I met more producers that were like the homie, what the fuck's his name? Anyways, but he produced a lot of shit for Tupac.
Johnny J?
Yeah, there you go. So it opened my mind to a lot of shit. Like, whoa, like I didn't really see this coming, more or less. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's real though. We are definitely a factor in the game.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up Johnny J because I met Johnny J when he first produced Candyman's Knockin' Boots.
Okay.
And this was before he was signed to a major label. They released it on an independent label, and it was out for a while, and it didn't do anything. Finally, I believe it was Capitol that picked him up, so it came out on a wider scale and it blew up.
Yeah.
It was funny because I would see him, but his name was Johnny Jackson.
Okay.
And I was always wondering, why does a Chicano have Jackson as his last name?
Yeah, for sure.
But later on, he ended up telling me that he was born, I want to say Juarez or El Paso. Mm-hmm. He was born out there to a Mexican family, but they gave him up for adoption.
Oh, shit.
So a Mexican woman who was married to a black man adopted him. So he took on his father's name, who raised him. And I respected him for that and sharing that with me. And I had talked to him, I want to say maybe about a month before he turned himself in to go to county, and he never came out. Rest in peace, because he passed away in there.
Okay.
And he was telling me that he had about 80 Tupac songs. He was in contact with Tupac's mom. He said, I'm going to call you when I get out. I'm only going to do a few months, and I want you to work with me on doing tracks for these Tupac beats. And I was excited because I'm like, fuck yeah,
Hell yeah, for sure.
And he never made it out. But I will say this one thing about Johnny J. Being a student of his music, if you look at that All Eyes on Me, And I challenge anybody, because he did about 7 to maybe 9 songs on that album. All the hits and all the singles were his production.
Nice.
You take away those songs, and it's not a Tupac album. Obviously, Tupac is Tupac. Tupac is talented.
For sure, yeah.
But I was talking about as far as music is concerned. All the hits are all done by Chicano right there.
Yeah.
Man. So I'm proud of that, and I wish that he could have made it out, you know. But as far as, I'm trying to remember that damn documentary, Hip Hop Origins or Origins of Hip Hop.
I think it is. Ice-T hosted it, right? Ice-T is the narrator on it.
He's one of them on a couple of them. But now the Hip Hop Uncovered, I had the director here. He's a friend of mine, Rashidi Harper. I interviewed him here, and he was telling me about Big U and all those guys. Yeah. And I was trying to get Big U here, but they said he's really busy. So, but I like watching a lot of documentaries. But really quick, I know we touched a little bit on the horror stuff.
Yeah.
And you said you watched The Unholy. You said it was all right.
Sure. It was all right. Yeah.
So, are you a big fan of horror movies?
Huge. When I click on, you go to topics, horror first, you know? Horror first, and then military history, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are my 2 best.
What do you think it is about horror movies that attracts you?
That I believe in God, so I believe in the devil, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that I do, you know, I was raised by a Mexican father and a Salvadorian mother.
Yeah.
So between those 2 countries, there's a lot of history of witchcraft, a lot of history of demonic possessions, of ghosts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I said, when I was growing up, my mom used to go to poker games almost every weekend, but not to drink. It was to drink coffee and smoke cigarettes, and the topic was always ghost stories and demonic shit and all that.
Right.
I think my mother has a lot to do with why I'm obsessed with it. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, the mystery behind it is also relevant too. But you gotta understand too, though. Like, I've been in places where there's been a lot of death and a lot of killers, and I believe that energy is real. And you know, like I've been in the county jail, 2400, where I believe I heard a lot of shit because I found my case for like a year and 10 months. So I was a permanent resident at Tier. I heard fools get killed. I heard people hang themselves, and I heard things walking the Tier. If you run into a lot of vaults that done time in the old county jail, it's a relative story that, you know, there's spirits on the A.DA at a certain time. And I also did time in the shoe in Old Corcoran shoe, you know. And when I was there, also that's also a lot of shit that people that are back there will tell you, you know what I mean? That there's a lot of there's energies there, you know what I'm saying? Right.
You know what? I'm glad that people are getting a chance to hear this, because I don't want this to be just a typical interview. I want to see a different side of you. I always tell people, I want people to get to know you as a person before the artist. And simply because, even let's just say that there's people out there who don't like your music. But if they like you, they will support you.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I believe that that's the goal here at Roadium Radio, is to get people to support artists, because this is the platform that we've created to help Raza move up that ladder. And I think it's very important for us to do that.
Yeah, I think that should be in the, you know how Instagram sends you like notification of their guidelines? I think that should be a part of the guideline. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not what it seems like on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like these characters and these people that you see on here are not actually exactly like what they're depicting on there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I get misunderstood. See, the thing is this though, I come from a generation that was real brutal and brute, you know? So with that comes brutal honesty.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing that people don't understand is this, right? They take my honesty and they're insulted by it, right? But this is the thing that they fail to realize, is that, listen, the shit that I'm telling you and the game that I'm trying to hand down to you is not to insult you. It's to prevent you to being insulted by real motherfuckers that have a different agenda. But you don't know how to accept it, because in your own mind, you don't have the train of thought to want the truth. What you really want is somebody to paint you a fantasy and lie to you all day and tell you that what you're doing is great. And how you're doing it is fucking great. And the people that you're hanging out with are the best. Well, let me tell you something, my boy. First and foremost, like, even blood isn't the best for you sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
And everybody has a secret agenda when you're in this entertainment business. You know what I'm saying? And there's rules to this shit also that you should be aware of, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people take it the wrong way when I'm giving game, because they want me to sugarcoat it, dog, and pat them on the shoulder the whole time and tell them like, look, mijo, nah, bro, like, I'm a gangster and this is the way I communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know no other way, because depending on how you deliver a message, that's how serious they're gonna take it. You understand what I mean? So yeah, so I mean, a lot of things are misconstrued, and definitely, like, I think that platforms like this allow people to see deeper into you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen, I don't do these podcasts for no reason. You feel what I'm saying? I do them because I know that people need a little more help understanding me. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I come off very intense, very aggressive if you see me from a distance. But when the fuck have you ever felt uncomfortable around me? Like,
no,
never. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a matter of perspective, how you're seeing it,
right,
and how you want to take it. You know what I'm saying? I tell this to my homies all the time. We're having a conversation about people not being able to take how do you say it? I guess advice, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling my homies, what's like, well, think about it. For as a kid, who's the first person that you grow animosity and resentment towards ever in your life? You know, it's your parents, eh? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people don't digest that thought. Think about it. Like, even as a kid, I remember thinking like, man, fuck that. Like, what the fuck you telling me? You know,
Yeah.
as a child, having resentment and wanting to go against the grain, right?
Right.
But that's the raw human being in you still, not living life, not having any wisdom, and not having any life trials and errors to reflect on, to see what advice and wisdom really is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you're ignorant, and I only say ignorant not to be insulting or demeaning, but I say it in the purest form of the word. Ignorance is the lack of intelligence, you know what I mean? And the lack of knowledge, okay? So when you have the lack of knowledge and wisdom and intelligence to see that these ass whoopings and these lectures that your parents are giving you are to save your life and to make you the best person possible in your life, you wouldn't be resistant and you wouldn't be resentful. If anything, you would be what? Thankful and grateful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of perspective and where you have it. You know what I'm saying? I remember doing time, man, when I was going through the prison system and I would see Judas be aggressive towards us. I took it as they were molding me. You know what I'm saying? Like chipping me away little by little, because there was more pain and more aggressiveness coming. Like, if I thought the guards were aggressive, wait till I met the killers doing life on the 4-yard where I was headed or the 3-yard where I was headed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's about perspective and how you see it. When I have arguments, well, I don't have arguments with my homeboys, to be honest with you, but when we have disagreements, I should say, you know, I'm open-minded now to soak it up. But I've always been kind of like that, though. Even my older homies will tell you, like, I was one of the homies that if I fucked up, I would show up the next day to get my chequeada, you know? Right. I would show up to get checked. I would take my ass whooping and tag along with the homies the whole night to where I annoyed them. You know what I mean? Like, they probably wanted me gone. They were probably trying to run me out the hood. But I would never, because I understood that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? I had to understand that, you know what? I'm as a child, I was a knucklehead. I was naughty. I was mischievous. I was wild. And I needed some type of control. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And I knew that since I didn't have parents, I was lacking that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's all about perspective. If people get offended by what I say, it's only because they're not taking it for what it is. You feel what I mean? They're right away looking at me as the enemy because I'm contradicting what they want. Right. You know what I mean? It's not always about what you want, it's about what you need. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The want and the need are two different things. And I think that right now in the time that we're in, too many people are spoiled and too many people are catered and pampered and sensitive to where they can't accept this shit. You know what I mean?
Very, very true. You know, and me too, I've gotten people upset at me because I'm brutally honest. I only know how to be that way, but I read this quote many years ago and it stuck with me, and it said, I would rather hurt you with the truth and comfort you with the lie. Mm-hmm. You know, if I go to the doctor and let's just say the doctor runs his test and he finds out I have cancer, but it can be treated. Yeah. Do I want that truth, or would I rather have him tell me, take some aspirin, go home, you're okay? Yeah. you know, I would rather want the truth so I can prepare. For sure. There are just some people that just don't like it. You know, you could tell them certain things, but in their mind, look, bro, my mind is made up. Don't confuse me with the facts. You know, I'm cool. and they're just going to believe whatever they want to believe.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't have to like it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You're never gonna like it. You know what I mean? The road less traveled is always fucking muddy and rough. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't have to like it, but you have to like the intention of it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
The reality. I remember when I was a kid, man. My dad met my first girlfriend. You know. And this dude, like, my dad was like, he was very gamed up when it came to females and shit, you know.
Right.
He was a very handsome, good-looking man, so he had been through a lot with females, you know. So fucking, my dad sees me, and you gotta understand, I was 14 with like a 19-year-old girl that already had a baby.
Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. So my dad's thinking like, this fucking idiot, like. And he sees the hyena walk in, right? And my dad had given me like the den he had turned into my bedroom. So I had my own personal entrance through the back.
Oh,
you feel me? But I never had to hide shit from my dad anyway. My dad was a cool dude. You know, he didn't give a fuck. Like, you want to go to school? Nah. All right, sleep in. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of those guys, you know? So I'm bringing this hyena in, and my dad pulls me to the side, and he's like, mijo, ¿quién es esa muchacha? And I'm like, oh, that's my girl, you know? That's my girl. And that's her baby? I'm like, yeah, that's her baby. The baby's like months old.
Oh, shit.
This hyena already has a nice body. Like, you know, them young hyenas.
Of course.
Right? So he's like, he's telling me in a nice way. He's like, mijo, esa muchacha ha vivido mucha vida. He's telling me that girl's lived a lot of life for her age, meaning she's a whore. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like it, fool, because like, for one, this was like my real first, you know, pounding I was giving. You know what I mean? And me as a kid, I was already like, oh, this is my bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna raise this child. I can't even get a job yet, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna raise this boy like he's my own, you know what I mean? And fucking, yeah, sure enough, it only lasted like, I think 2 weeks, because there was a grown man boning her where she laid. You know what I mean? And that fool ended up confronting me, and I was like, over the phone, and I was like, whoa, like, all right, like, whatever, bro, like, I don't want no problems, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, go ahead and keep that. So, yeah, the truth comes with a lot of fucking, you know, insults sometimes, but But like this is another thing I was telling the homie that I was talking to. It's like, but if you really think about it, as men, with all the ego we have, with how self-absorbed we are, those are our biggest lessons. Is when we get slapped in the face with humiliation. Yes. Think about all the men scorned by women, how they are now. Even fools with bitches' names on them, tattooed void, and they cross them out and put bullet holes in those names, right? Like. either those fuckers learned not to go get every bitch's name on them, or they're just bitter men towards women and hate women. Right. Think about it. But what type of vato do you want to be? You want to be the type of vato that's a woman hater because one female broke his fucking ego, or do you want to be a man that is learning the difference between a good woman and a not so good woman? You feel what I'm saying? Right. And have the ability to distinguish the two. I would rather be the type of motherfucker that knows and sees what he's getting into. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right.
I met this one guy, my goodness, he was fucking broken. This motherfucker was broken. And he didn't want to fuck around with women anymore. So I said, like, okay, what are you talking about? I mean, are you going switch hitter now? And he was like, nah, I just don't fuck around women. So one day he got drunk and he told me that he was with this one girl and she fucked his head up. And I go, how? He goes, she told me I had a small pito.
Ooh, that's rough.
And that's the worst.
That's the worst for a fucking...
You know, I didn't even ask him if it was true. I didn't give a shit. You know?
Can you prove it, sir? Can you prove otherwise? Do you have the evidence? Yeah.
I'll tell you, women, if you ever want to hurt a dude...
Yeah, talk about his... Yeah,
you know, talk about his pito. Yeah. So, but other than that, let's switch it up from the pito. But... You were here over a year ago. Mm-hmm. Since then, you have been really busy releasing music. Yeah, I've noticed you released a lot of singles. Mm-hmm. Is there we'll get into that later, but single. Did an EP ever come out in between that time?
Yeah, of course. I dropped Street God and I dropped Emiliano the Beast, and then I ended up doing Goon Play, and then I ended up doing King Goon, you know?
Okay, because for some reason, looking at your YouTube, I saw a lot of singles.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we believe in content, you know? We believe in content, no matter how little, how staged, we just believe it's important, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like as a team, we believe that everything has to be appealing to the eye at this point, you know what I mean?
Yes.
For it to be successful, and it's almost like a song that's missing the right verse, you know?
Right.
A song without a video is just not complete sometimes. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So that's why we push a lot of content. And you know, as like I started growing with this music shit, you know, I started learning a lot. Mm-hmm. So with that came a lot more content and more material for me to spill, you know what I'm saying? So the album, and then you know how it is too, like as an artist at the beginning, it's almost like you're trying to perfect your craft, and at some point you just get very comfortable with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember when I first got out of prison, like I had notepads and shit written everywhere. Now I don't write at home no more, right? Okay. It's one of them things where like I hit the studio and I like to have good people around me, energy, and then the right beats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now I understand that like that's my most comfortable process, to where it's not a job. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
because the music has to, it can't. I was having this conversation with somebody else too. It's like you can't be making this music to make others happy before yourself.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? The music has to talk to your soul first before anybody else's. Because what people don't realize is that a lot of people love the message that I spread in my music, you know, or even in these podcasts. But what they don't realize is that a lot of times I'm talking to myself to remind myself of how I gotta be and what type of person I gotta be. Obviously, I'm still not shooting motherfuckers up in the streets. I'm not gangbanging like I was when I was younger in my 20s or in my teens, right? But I like to keep that edge because I do understand also that I am somebody that represents a certain gang, and I am a beautiful target for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So that ruthlessness and that rawness you hear about gangbanging is to remind myself and to keep myself sharp. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just because I'm in a stage in my life where I feel like I have wisdom, knowledge, and awareness doesn't mean little homies ain't out there to get this trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it would be a trophy that would hit my neighborhood hard and that would ripple through a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
It's a good stripe. So therefore, like, you know, I'm talking to myself in a lot of music because I think, you know, a lot of people, psychologists will tell you it's crazy to talk to yourself, you know? Mm-hmm. I think it's good to talk to yourself. Some of the deepest conversations I've had is with myself, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I was in prison, I learned this because I was alone a lot. So therefore, I had to hear another voice in the room, even if it was just mine.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of times you have to pretend to be crazy in order not to go crazy. You know what I mean? That's a reality. Like that's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know a lot of people that have been in isolation and confinement can relate to what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So yeah, man. I think that you know, the content was coming out as I was growing with the music, mm-hmm. and I was learning more and more and more. Because you got to think, dog. Like a lot of us, especially for us Latinos, right, in the rap game, there's nobody really coaching us to get into the game and how you should approach it, you know?
Exactly.
That's why when I came in first, I came in so raw and so offended and so confrontational. You feel what I'm saying? Because I felt like I had to clean house, dog. I felt like there was a lot of honesty lacking, a lot of people taking responsibility for the way they're influencing us. You know what I mean? And I wanted to be that voice. Did it work for me? I guess it did work for me at some extent. But I also understand that can't be me every day. You know what I'm saying? I understand that at some point, you know, it's like any other trade, should I say. When you get into a union, you go to your apprentice stage, labor stage, journeyman stage, superintendent stage, and then you're a project manager.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So, learning that also has helped me out a lot, and it's allowed the content and the lyrical content to evolve also with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I have a couple of questions I want to ask you, but we're going to be going to break soon. I'm going to ask you because you said about you using your voice, and I've always preached here as Raza, we have a voice, we should use it. If we have technology, we should use it. We got to create platforms like this for our people so that our voice can be heard. But I want to touch a little bit more on that when we come back. We got about 2 minutes, but I wanted to ask you, do you consider yourself a loner?
I can't because I mean, it depends on what aspect. In real life, no. In this rap game, yes.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a lone wolf. There's a lot of resistance towards me. You know what I mean? A lot of people tend to be pushed away just I guess, my assertiveness. You know what I mean? I come off too strong a lot of times. But then again, that's good. You feel me? For me. So it weeds out a lot of unnecessary shit. Right. Unknowingly that I might end up, it might turn it into something more serious of an issue. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in the rap game, most definitely. In my family life and in my normal life, no.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I have a lot of good friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You brought up something that it spoke to me, because you said, you know, you speak to yourself, and believe it or not, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Many times, and this may be a little different, especially when I read, because I do a lot of reading, because it takes me away, okay, from if I'm going through something or thinking of something, I read, and I read out loud. I like to hear myself read. Many times, believe it or not, I go to the museum by myself.
Yeah.
I'll go eat breakfast.
That's good. Solitude is very important.
Yes.
People underestimate the power of solitude and learning to be comfortable with just yourself. Because this society is very needy. Why you think we have, listen, dog, everything about society right now, even social media. Social media is that you have, so that you have instant acceptance every day at the tip of your fingers.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many likes do I have and how many subscribers? I'm accepted. I fucking made it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's how, but listen though, that's how insecure and weak we are at this point as a society. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
As a world, I guess, now, because this shit's worldwide. It's not just us.
Right.
So I would hate to grow up like that. I tell my son all the time, fool, those likes don't mean shit.
You're right.
The fuck you talking about? Why you worried about likes or views? I don't who gives a fuck? Like, show me what you're worth.
Right.
Real worth, real value. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is it at? And then I'll tell you how fortunate you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That shit don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? And then not only that, you're seeking validation from strangers that don't give a fuck about you.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Worry about what I think about you and what the people that you love think about you. That shit ain't nothing. That's those are compliments without substance, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I think that learning to have self-worth is the ultimate answer to all the problems as far as like character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe that. You know what I mean?
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and go to break, and you know what? I want to challenge people out there. You know, and I love what you just said. Go somewhere by yourself, even if it's go eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and throw your phone in a glove compartment, and let's see how you behave.
Yeah, and then that'll be a meter to let you know what you're lacking, dog.
Yes.
Honestly, you know what I mean? Measure the comfort and the uncomfortableness that you feel, and that open your mind to that shit and try to correct it or be proud of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Either or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, everybody, we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break, so make sure you call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, and let them know that Bozo's in the motherfucking building. Go get your food ready, go warm it up, go get your Modelo, because it's about to get good. This is the different side of Bozo that a lot of people don't see, and I got a lot of dope questions I need to ask them. So once again, 10 minutes, we'll be back.
A.DA, chilling at the Roadium with my homeboy Steve. Be on the lookout for our new 12-inch, the shit is dope. Yo, I like to say what's up to my homeboy Dre, my homeboy Prince of Jazz, and the girls with the big ol' ass. So Trip, I'm about to bust one more time to let y'all niggas know just what's on my mind.
In the morning, police at my door. Fresh Adidas squeak across my bathroom floor. Out my back window, I make my escape. Didn't even get a chance to grab my old school tape. Mad with no music, but happy cause free. And the street to a player is the place to be. Got a knot in my pocket weighing at least a grand.
Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name was? What did you say your name?
Tony A.
I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action, sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Roadium Radio episode 165. Am I correct, Alex? Yes, 165. You know what? Just 2 announcements. Wednesday, I got a double feature. Then Thursday, we're doing a Thursday night special with a very special guest. He's in town, so I had to get him in here to bless you guys with his story. I'll give you guys a hint. He's an actor. I think you guys will be blessed. So that'll be Thursday. I'll release Wednesday's guest tomorrow on my IG, and then Thursday's guest on Tuesday, so you guys at least have a little heads up on that. And follow us on TikTok, once again, at Roadium Radio on TikTok. I release content on there that I don't release on my Instagram, on my Facebook. And other than that, we're going to go ahead and jump right back into it with Bozo. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I wanted to ask you something. Well, let me bring something up, and then I'll bring you my question.
Okay.
Throughout history, and I'm just going to name a few, we've had leaders that have spoken up for their people, for their cause, for their rights, etc. For an example, Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I read a lot
dude.
of... Yes.
Yeah.
I read a lot of things about Malcolm X, and even though I am not a Muslim, I loved his passion, his drive that he had, for his people, but for what he believed was right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sad to say, he was killed. And if you guys want to see a dope documentary on that, Who Shot or Who Killed Malcolm X on Netflix, great documentary. Then you had people like Martin Luther King, another one who spoke up, and they took him out.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Throughout history, we've had these men, and I know I'm missing a few. For an example, there was the FBI agent, and this is public knowledge. You guys can Google this. FBI agent on his deathbed confessed to taking out Bob Marley.
Okay.
And once again, he was speaking through his music. And I think sometimes when people start to gain, if you will, power,
A voice.
they get taken out.
Yeah, for sure.
So now you look at people like, let's just say Eazy-E, 1995. Okay, he dies.
Yeah.
Pac, 1996. Biggie, 1997.
Yeah.
All three, back to back. Coincidence?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said earlier that you have a voice and sometimes you could be a target. I believe you are a voice.
Yeah,
I
appreciate it.
No, I truly mean that. Not saying it just to say it. I believe there's people out there that believe in your voice. I believe we have a voice and we should use it. Do you ever think like that could be me?
All the time, every day of my life. Yeah, for sure. I think of death more now that I have a 2-year-old. My daughter is constantly reminding me of death. Like, I mean, on the way here, like, you know, before I leave her, it's like, You know, just the last time I'm gonna see you. You feel me? But I mean, it with that being said, it's like, what do you do, dog? It's like, do you succumb to the fear? Do you shut up because there's a reality and there's consequence to this shit? I believe that God gives you certain gifts, dog, and if you don't utilize those gifts, then you're denying God's blessings and His grace. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe that everything that's happened to me to this point was preordained. You know what I'm saying? I believe that every chapter in my book has been written all the way to the end. Do I know the end of it? No, I don't. But I believe that a long time ago when I told God to be my compass, like I really meant it. You feel what I'm saying? And when I told Him in a conversation that no matter what happened, I would allow Him to steer this vehicle, that I meant it. You know what I mean? So to this day, I still live by that because ever since I did that, I've been blessed. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have a real family. I have real children that admire me, love me. I have a girl that respects me. My family respects me immensely. I've become the pillar of my family when I was the weakest link in my family at one point. You know what I'm saying? And being able to have those reflections and to see through with these things has put it in my heart to want to share with other men, because the place that I come from and the life that I lived, all I've known was lost children and lost adults, lost men, you know what I mean, and lost women, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So therefore, if I've been able to live through certain experiences and learn from them and improve from them, I want to share that, you know what I mean? I want to let people know that there's hope, because the way the system works, dog, when you're an unfortunate one, it never builds you up, it just destroys you further. It puts you in places where you become more hopeless and more hopeless. Like, hope is the currency when they want to break you. You feel what I'm saying? It's the most valuable thing that you can have. You know what I'm saying? So I like to give people hope, because I know that people know my history in the streets for a fact. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I know that people know that I come from being a child on the streets to going to prison for over a decade and doing multiple prison terms, and then also coming home and having the grit and the will to turn that upside down, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I want to share that, because the other day I posted Father Greg. I don't know if you saw it on my IG. I posted him. Yeah. Out of nowhere, dog. I was chilling, you know, and I was thinking, like, I remember when I was a kid, man. I think the first time I met him, I was 15, 16 years old, and I had gone to this place that was called Camp Gonzalez in the mountains of Malibu, the Malibu Mountains. Mm-hmm. It was a mini prison. It's called a lockdown camp. It wasn't like regular camps with little fences. But long story short, I'm in the hole in this camp. It's called Zuma. And I'm in the hole, and I'm a kid, you know, and I'm all by myself. Back then, there wasn't none of these new laws that they have that it's inhumane to even children were confined back then. You know what I'm saying? Think about a child. Think about your son at 15 in a fucking dark ass hole in the back of a prison. You know what I mean? Right. Well, this man came to that hole unexpectedly. I didn't even know who this man was, where he came from, and he brought mi pan dulce, you know, in the hole when I was a kid, prayed for me, and then just walked away and left me with hope. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the power of his voice is what helped me, dog. You feel what I'm saying? And then you go fucking 15 years later, and I pull out of prison this time after doing a decade, and I can't get a job, fool. I mean, I had interview after interview after interview, bro. And they would interview me twice sometimes. On the third one, because I didn't have no job history, 10 years in incarceration, you feel what I mean? Right. And I went back to him again, you know what I mean? I went back to that man again, and he paid for my education, my tuition, and now I have a trade, homie, that I can hand down to my son, that I can live off of comfortably. No, I mean, I don't need rap, dog. Honestly, I do rap because it makes me happy. You know what I mean? It fulfills my passion, and it gives me the satisfaction that gangbanging used to, if that makes any sense. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that man gave me hope again as an adult. You know what I'm saying? So when you really look back in the chapters of your life that you really learned the most from, there was always somebody with a voice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe it wasn't on as big as a platform as we have now, or maybe it wasn't so accessible like social media or whatever, but there was always somebody that thread through that needle hole, fool, and came through and spoke to you and gave you and was that voice in your ear that you needed. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful for those people that have played that part in my life, including my sisters, to my homeboys, to anybody that's giving me wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to me, a voice is necessary. So that's why I share everything that I can. You know what I mean?
No, that's important, and I'm glad you're sharing that. You know, because I grew up, you know, watching TV on the streets, and I was always getting into trouble, man. And and I've shared this before, but I want to share this with you. You know, I was raised right by my mother and my father, but I chose to do wrong on my own. You know, and believe it or not, even at my age right now, being 53 years old, I live with some guilt because of how I behaved when I was a child to my parents, and they're no longer here.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I try, if I could, to help the next generation and try to steer them in the right way. Like, there's a few rappers that are young, and they come to me, and I will never mention their names, but they've told me like this. They didn't ask me, would you produce me? They didn't ask me, would you be my manager? They've asked me, would you be my mentor? And I think, you know, the first question that I ask them is about, tell me about your father. And these two individuals would tell me, I don't have one. And I think that's what this generation is lacking, are father figures or a positive voice.
But that was part of the plan. Think about it. That was part of the plan. I think about 20 years ago when they implicated the war against drugs, for one, to strip a lot of men out of our communities. And then second was a 3-strike law. You know what I'm saying? They stripped the streets of every male alpha on the streets. You know what I mean? Whether good or bad. You know what I'm saying? And then now they're doing it again, but through social media. Motherfuckers like me are labeled bullies. Are labeled gangster mentality, this, and you know,
terrorist.
So many things you could name me. I was deemed a what do they call it? A danger to society, to never be released on these streets again. Like, I heard a judge say that, you know what I mean? And give me that title, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's funny that you just said what you just said right now. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. You said, one of my deepest regrets now at my age is that I was defiant towards my family. But that, I don't want to say shame, but that guilt that you have makes you the man that you are now, to be able to raise a son and a family with the right guidance and compass. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So all that's necessary, eh? But it's necessary to see pleasure in the pain, dog. You feel me? Like, you gotta think back to that and think to yourself, like, yes, I might have been rebellious towards my parents, but at this time, presently where I am, my parents' pride and joy. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it is, dog. Every parent, including myself, wants to see their children go up and raise a family. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You know, I've noticed a couple of times on your page, you know, when I say your page, your Instagram page, every once in a while, you'll either ask a question or you'll put up something that's a biblical reference.
Of course.
A couple of times you would say something like, are we in the book of Revelation? Are we in the last days? Stuff like that. Do you have any biblical knowledge, or what do you stand with that? Do you believe?
Well, I studied the Bible, and I read part of the Quran due to a lot. I was soul searching, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I was in a position, I'll put it like this, more or less, God put me in a place where he knew that I would dig. And search, you know what I'm saying? Be in prison, you know what I mean? So I enrolled in a Bible study class, like a college course for the Bible. When I was doing time in prison, one of my older homies, Lizard, he's a pastor out in Chino for a Victory Outreach. So when I was a kid, he would hit the 3-yard and be like, he would tell the local the lifers there, hey, who from Navarro's right here? You know what I mean? And the older homies would come out and look for me. And be like, because all the older homies loved me. I was the food that would steal from the kitchen and then give it to the lifers for free, you know? Tortillas, cheese, chicken. The lifers loved me, eh? Because I would, you know, I was a little thief, you know what I mean? By nature, and I would steal it and give it to the homies, you know? So the lifers would come out looking for me and be like, hey, your homie's in the church. So my older homie, being a pastor, but still being from the barrio, would like let somebody give a testimony and then take me to the office, and he would just chop it up with me. Like, hey, how's so-and-so? how's so doing, and how I know all the homies, and we would chop it up, and I feel like it would give him an opportunity to be tapped into the streets presently without having to get in trouble. You feel what I mean?
Right.
But he would also be like, I brought you this book, boom, go read it. I read A Purpose Driven Life. I read he brought me a book about the Apostle Paul. Okay. I forgot the title of it. Mm-hmm. He also brought me a book called A Journey into the Mystery of All Mysteries, How to Know God. And then he gave me a college study Bible that had literally history to every scripture, every person that I talked to. Like, it was amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was able to feed off of that shit in my mind. You know what I mean? So to be honest with you, look, man, if I was a gang member before the Bible, now I'm a gang leader. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't mean it like towards my gang. What I'm saying is, okay, let me put it in another way. If I was a soldier before, after the Bible, I was a general. You feel what I'm saying? Because the Bible taught me how to navigate through the bullshit that was coming and how to have the strength to deal with the repercussions of it also. You feel what I mean? Right. A lot of people, even in the system, people see you with the Bible and think you're weak because of it. Right. Bro, that shit made me stronger than you even fucking know. Like, I will destroy you in a minute because of the things I read in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Right. I know that if I take your life protecting my family or my own, I'm still going to heaven, my boy. You feel what I'm saying? Nothing is going to take heaven from me if my heart is in the right place and I'm righteous with everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I got my passport and I'm ready to fucking use it whenever I need to. You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, I do lean on the Bible for a lot of wisdom, a lot of guidance. I do pray a lot. I'm in constant conversation with God because of still who I am naturally. Like, the flesh makes me very, how should I say, man, intuitive to the streets and to thug shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm very tapped into, like, I'm the most comfortable when I'm around, how should I say it, man? I don't want to say gangsters, but I want to say I'm the most comfortable when I'm around men that are violent and are assertive and that have no fear. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And I attract that. I see that. I attract that. You know what I mean? I see that. I attract. But sometimes that could be good and bad. You know what I mean? Right. Sometimes you attract an individual like that and he wants to take your life because, you know what I mean? Absolutely. He's threatened by your presence. But a lot of times you attract motherfuckers like that can share wisdom with you and then you can share wisdom with too. Iron sharpen iron. Yeah, and grow bonds with, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, there's two folds to that, you know what I mean? But yeah, most definitely, I'm very religious. I believe that there's different religions in this world. I believe that there's different gods in this world, but I believe that all those are vessels to the real God. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I believe that the Lord knows how we are. And I believe that just like he's made different breeds of dogs for us to be comfortable. Some people like fucking little Frenchies. Right. Some people like big ass pit bulls like myself. So I believe that God knew that we would be, how would you say it? That we would be resistant to certain things. So he catered to a lot of different motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And allowed them to pray to whatever they were comfortable with, as long as they were praying. You feel what I'm saying? Uh-huh. I believe that. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, you know what I'm saying? Right. But I do believe that because I know the Jesus that they have on statues doesn't depict what Jesus looked like, you know? Right, of course. That white Jesus that we see, the hippie, like that's not.
That's Brad Pitt.
That's not even realistic when you look at where he came from and where he was born and the genetic structure and makeup of those people in those times, you know what I mean? Right. If anything, he looked more like Saddam Hussein than he did the fucker. I mean, not the fucker, but the person that they have. You understand what I mean, right? Of course. Yeah, because hell yeah, I have a lot of faith. But just like I believe in God, I believe in the devil. You know, I know there's evil out there. You know what I mean? Just like I know there's righteousness. You know, and I'm very, very intuitive to that too, dog. Like, I've been in places where I've seen men soulless, you know, like I mentioned being in the shoe program before. I mentioned being on 3 and 4 yards or find life with certain individuals. Like, I've seen it, dog. I remember one time, bro, I seen this big ass gabacho walk into Twin Towers, you know, and the pod where I was in, we were all fighting life. Like, there wasn't nobody there that wasn't fighting life. And for some reason, a kid came in, I believe maybe for a night or two, just to pass through, you know what I mean? He was for a DUI there, and the The Gabacho choked him to death, You know what I mean? Choked the little homie to death. He only had 6 months to do. It was a big old case in the news and all that. How are they mixing these people up? My son got choked to death. But I promise you, when I saw that white boy for the first time, I knew there was evil in him. You know what I mean? Like, I felt it, dog. I sensed it.
And the evil that you're referring to, you're not talking about some bad dude on the street. You're talking about something spiritually
I'm talking about soul.
evil.
Yeah, I'm talking about, just how you can meet a Christian that walks in the room and you just feel that energy from that presence, and they're so inviting and so welcoming, you know what I mean? They make your heart feel good. You can feel that too to people that are really into the evil shit and have done evil deeds and thrive off of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because that leads to my next question. And I know people are probably tripping because they're just seeing a different side of you. And I believe that, I didn't want to go over the same questions that we went over the last time. Okay, but now, since we're talking about the music industry, and we're talking about, if you will, religion / the devil, do you believe that there's artists, whether it's an artist, whether it's a rapper, whether it's a singer, whether it's an athlete, that a person can actually sell their soul to the devil?
Well, I believe if you read and you dig in history deep enough, you will see that people have been selling their soul to the devil for years. Whether it was political figures, whether it was emperors, whether it was certain soldiers that were sick on the battlefield. Just like King David sold his soul to God, you feel what I'm saying, and conquered almost the whole world. You know what I mean? At some point, Hitler also sold his soul to the devil too. You feel what I mean? Right. And almost conquered this whole world. So, do I believe that artists can do that? Yes, because when you look at the history of Lucifer himself, you will see that he was a divine angel that communicated through music. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, if you dig deep into that, then how is it not possible? You feel what I mean? Like they say, math is the language of all languages, so is music. You know what I'm saying? There's people listening to my lyrical content in Ukraine. You're telling me they understand what I'm saying? Like, no, I think they just vibe off my energy and off my aggressiveness. So I think that, like most definitely there's artists, political figures, actors, there's husbands and wives, there's business owners, you know what I mean? There's entrepreneurs, there's Elon Musk's, and there's fucking Bill Gates that who knows what they've done. I'm not saying they have. I'm just using them as examples. You know what I'm saying? Because dog, this is, in the Bible it'll tell you, homie, that this is this is the devil's playground. You know what I mean? God is only in the tower watching us. You know what I'm saying? And seeing how we conduct ourselves while we're here around this fucker. You know what I mean? Yeah. So most definitely I do believe that.
Wow. Because, growing up, I liked a lot of rock music. And, of course, you saw people like Kiss, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, groups like that. Yeah. And of course, we've always thought, bájale esa música del diablo. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And but I like to ask certain people that question, especially people that are knowledgeable, not just anyone. But I'm glad that I asked you, because the other time that I've asked other individuals, they've all agreed, said yes. As a matter of fact, one guy actually said, I know somebody that did, and I saw him do it. And there's a place out here, I'll tell you off air, that somebody told me that one of the biggest rappers still alive right now sold his soul and met the devil out here between two trees. And we're talking about his blocks away, Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I began to look into it, and people were saying that it was true. Not necessarily about that story, but that's where supposedly the devil appears between two trees, and he comes in the form of a dog. Once again, whether that's true or not, I ain't trying to do that.
Well, that's funny you say that, because my mom always told me to beware of a black dog. If I ever ran into a black dog on the streets while I was alone, to run away from it. You know what I mean? My mother always told me that he would appear to you as a black dog. You know what I mean? So that's funny you say that, and I remember vividly my tia Daisy, which is out here right now visiting, Salvadorian lady. Most of my aunts, from my mom's side are Salvadorian. So anyways, I remember my aunt used to work about 1.5 miles from our house. So she would walk the last 1.5 miles. And I remember one day my aunt coming into the pad and being fucking terrified with my mom because a black dog had followed her all the way home. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy you say that.
Wow. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah. Well, you know what? If I see the damn black dog, I'm running.
Hell yeah.
No black dogs.
No black dogs.
Okay, check it out. Now, here's what we're going to do. Because I have a couple of I'm going to save the controversial questions till the next one, but I want to go over some songs because you haven't been here in over a year.
Yeah.
And I want to start off with, I know I've kind of missed some because I went through your YouTube and some of these tracks you released. I just want to ask you, maybe I'll throw the names out there. You can elaborate who was on them. Let the people know. For an example, you have a track called By Any Means. I went back about a year. So By Any Means, what are you talking about in that song?
By any means, I'm talking about the will that you need. And the will that is necessary to navigate through this life, you know what I'm saying? As men, you know, I can only speak for men. I can't always speak for women because to me I don't have the I don't, you know, I don't have the right to. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I was just communicating to the men in the streets, you know what I'm saying? In my shoes, you know, people that are from that tend to relate to my lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? And just the will and trying to give them an anthem to drive home proud to after a long shift, you know what I mean? Or maybe even on their way to a shift, you know what I'm saying? When I was writing that song, I was picturing myself doing the same, you know what I mean? When I wake up, it's dark outside, and a lot of times when I come home, it's dark, you know what I mean? And that's hard, you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know? So yeah, it was more or less just talking to the blue collar guy or the entrepreneur or the homie out there hustling, you know what I mean? To keep pushing and keep going and have the right intentions while you're doing that, you know what I mean?
Okay. Then I have Shake Some.
Shake Some was it was a track that I did with an artist called Uno Mash out of Pasadena. He's a blood from Pasadena, Denver Lanes. Great guy, man, very talented, you know what I'm saying? And we just wanted to turn up, man. Like I love strip clubs, you know. My family knows that, my girl knows that, like but this is the thing, you gotta hear me out, okay? I go to the strip clubs not necessarily to see naked women. You know what I mean? I go because of the energy. You know, when you go to these bougie ass clubs in Hollywood and all that shit, it's like everybody has their own little section. The Instagram model bitches are against the wall waiting to be treated right. You know, there's a lot of ego. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, beautiful naked women tend to strip everybody of their ego. You know what I mean? The women that are in there at the strip club, the women you meet at the strip club, not stripping, just there as customers, right? Are women with a lot of confidence. They're not intimidated by the strippers in there, even though they're naked and beautiful and all that. You know what I mean? They're like-minded women. A lot of times they're hustlers that are on their shit. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, the strip club is Wall Street for the dope boys and the gangsters in the streets. You know what I mean? If you want to meet somebody that's successful at what they do in the streets, go to a strip club. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, we catered that to the strip club, and you know, we did it at the strip club.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Blue In, Blue Out.
Blue In, Blue Out was me trying. Well, I tend to do this a lot. Like I got a new track on my album coming out where I like to showcase younger homies and give them the opportunity to just showcase their talent. You know what I mean? I like to share my platform whenever I can. I'm proud to be a Sureño, you know what I mean, and represent the blue rag, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I like to showcase the homies of talent, you know what I mean, especially the youth, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I did that.
Another Casualty.
I was talking to a lot of people that struggle with drug addiction, you know what I'm saying, and that have been impacted by the use of drugs in our community, you know what I'm saying? So, but I was trying to be as raw as possible as I could, you know? Right now, I see a lot of women on dope, you know what I mean? I see a lot of young mothers on dope that, you know, were beautiful and were the jewel of their families, now just completely stripped of that because of meth. I know I seen in the system myself a lot of homies that were thorough as dudes out here in the streets because of the dope turn completely opposite and even roll it up and lock it up, you know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of people out here killed on the streets behind the dope too. So more or less, I was just trying to convey the reality of drug use to the youth, and even not the youth, whoever's listening, and let them know the consequences and the harsh reality of that shit too. You know what I mean?
Okay, good. I'm glad you're if you're elaborating on these titles, because few artists do that. They just say, "Go get my shit. It's on Spotify," and that's pretty much what they do. Flawless.
Flawless was me just flexing, you know, being a alpha male, and just letting people know like that you're not born an alpha, you know? Like the people around you and circumstances you go through in life will make you an alpha, you know what I'm saying? Alpha males are alpha males due to necessity, you know what I mean? When you see the rest of the pack, they're just there to follow, you know what I mean? They really have no idea or purpose on where they're going, you know what I'm saying? It's more or less like they leave it in the hands of the next man, you know what I mean? So with Flawless, I was just letting people know, like, I talk the shit that I talk and I act the way I act and I say the things that I say because it was necessary for me to make it, you know what I mean? And if you mention my name in the hood, it's Flawless, boy. Like, you can't take none from me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and in my household for that matter, you know what I mean?
Okay. I like.
Shit, man. Growing up, my favorite guys in movies was Rambo, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they had the biggest fucking guns in the movie, dog. Every fucking time. You know, right? I mean, it's not a lie. Chuck Norris, you know, fucking, you name it. These fools, even Charles Bronson, which was my mom's sweetheart, like biggest 4-4 I ever seen as a kid. You know what I mean? So do I like big guns?
Clint Eastwood.
I'm a big, Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry. Yeah. I'm a big dude and I require a big gun. You know what I mean? A lot of fools can't shoot the guns I shoot, you know?
Hell yeah. Gots to Kill.
Gots to Kill, again, was just me flexing. We remade You Gots to Chill. That's why it was called Gots to Kill. So we got it from Gots to Chill, EPMD. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. You know, that beat to me was like, it was New York artists unknowingly tapping into the West Coast. You know what I mean? Because I don't think they strategized it. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But Gots to Kill was just me talking a lot of shit, man. Like, sometimes the ego is a motherfucker, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is this, dog, that I believe that that's the only way to communicate with other like-minded individuals. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is to spit shit that they can relate to and they can like play it in their car or wherever they're working out or wherever they're working, and that symbolizes them for whoever's listening. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's why I did it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, just to let you know, my friend DJ Toro, I always give him a holler. He lives in Harlem, and he told me same thing with Breakbeat Lou, that when EPMD first came out with that first album, You Got to Chill, It's My Thing, that New York wasn't feeling it.
I bet they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't feeling it, but it's almost like they made it for us then.
Yeah.
Then you have Muddy.
Muddy is me speaking to like, because I understand that I'm already at an age where I'm no longer like a street kid, you know what I'm saying? And but also I'm not at the age where I'm like washed up and forgotten, like I can't relate, you know what I mean?
Right.
So Muddy is letting people know that I'm willing to do the dirty work, you know what I mean? To get my message across, and I'm not going nowhere, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And that was basically it, just embracing my position in the game at the age that I'm at, you know what I mean? Okay,
just a couple more. 100 Rounds.
100 Rounds is it was like a cry of defiance, you know what I mean? Like on the street level, I do go through a lot of shit, you know what I mean? And a lot of people think from a distance, because they don't know you, or they might not, you know, they're not tapped into your area where you're at, that you're just another rapper lame, you know what I mean? So on 100 Rounds, I was just letting them know, like, you know, right now on the streets, the biggest drum you can find is 100 rounds, you know what I mean? So if you want that, you can get it. Not the actual 100, the gun. What I'm saying is music, you know what I'm saying? Like don't get it fucked up. On the lyrical content of that song is real sincere and real truthful to a lot of goons out here in the streets that need to hear the reality of what we're doing, just so they know they're not lost. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just to remind them, like, you're not on the wrong path. Like, these bumps in the road that you're having are just that, bumps in the road. It keeps going. Right. It's not a dead end. You feel what I mean? Right. So yeah, more or less, motivation, you know? Okay. And then They Tried. Wow. That was a real like deep song for me, like, because they did try to hurt me like recently, you know what I mean? Like really, really bad. And they tried to break my spirit, you know what I'm saying, and humiliate me. And they don't understand that I was bred to make some out of nothing, you know what I mean? So the more you try to hurt me, dog, the more I'm a fight. I'm a fighter by nature, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So They Tried was just me voicing my willingness to continue keep going no matter what, you know?
Right. Okay. Dreams in a Cell.
Dreams in a Cell was me reflecting on thoughts that I would have when I was in my cell, you know, like a lot of times when you're in the, so I tell this to a lot of people, right? I remember that I had been incarcerated for so long, my mind started playing tricks on me, you know? I didn't know if the shit that I was watching on TV was just shit pre-recorded and fabricated in some studio somewhere to hide the fact that the world had ended behind that wall. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Like, it had been years since I had seen some of my family because I was so far. I was in Mississippi. I went like almost 4 years without seeing my loved ones. And sometimes I would go like years without talking to them because of lockdowns, you know?
Right.
So a lot of times my mind would play tricks on me and I would really question, like, was there a world behind that big ass wall, you know?
Right.
So the dreams in the cell that I would have, I would manifest thoughts in my mind to remind me that there was life out there, you know what I'm saying? So the shit that I'm actually saying, the lyrics to that song, was me at the time dreaming and pretending that I was out.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? If that makes any sense, you know what I mean?
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. It's almost like, yet in here you were free.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
The imagination, you know, the power of imagination.
Yeah.
That was another deep book I read, by the way. Dope ass book, for real.
Awesome. Ride Through the City.
Oh, Ride Through the City, man, was okay. So it was with King Lil G, right? And obviously, like, I wanted to demonstrate, I wanted to present something classy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, something elegant. Like, I feel like the gangster shit is no longer valued as elegant. Like, when I grew up, the gangsters in my community were extremely elegant. You know what I mean? These fools shined up Stacey Adams. Even if they had house shoes on,
right,
the corduroys were clean, no lint.
Right.
They were sharp. They didn't step on the heel like fools do now and think, no, they fucking wore them correctly. Everything was elegant. Even if they were beat up cars, they had them clean. You feel what I'm saying?
Clean, yeah.
And the way they approached everybody was very elegant. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to prison, I seen that it was even more elegant, whether you believe it or not. Like, the homies in there were more, they were gods. You know what I'm saying? Like gods in the yard, Aztec gods, dog. And that elegance, I always looked up to it. So with this rap shit, I wanted to present that elegance again and that tasteful classiness that we do have as a culture. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not brought up to be grimy, lazy, and dirty by any stretch of imagination. You know what I'm saying? We're taught to be very groomed up, take pride in the little bit that we have, maintain it, keep it nice and clean, and present it to the streets or whoever's around you that'll give it value. So Right Through the City, I wanted to get, to me, to this day, like, the biggest Chicano rapper that we've had, you know what I'm saying? That represents our culture, you know what I mean? Which is King Lil G. So we took King Lil G, the hook on the song was the Temprees, which is very relatable to our culture also.
Yeah.
And we wanted to motivate the streets by showing a homie from one neighborhood, another neighborhood, riding through the city together like we own that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
And the lyrical content of that song is also inspiring to people that are going through the shit that we go through. Like, just because you're in the streets doesn't mean you're not gonna overcome that circumstance you're in. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were just trying to motivate people that know, like, look, we come from nothing and we've made something out of that little. You know what I mean? But just so you know, that's part of our culture's DNA and thread. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't forget that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do with that. You know, right?
And I'm glad you brought up the elegant part of it, is because, you know, at least for me, girls don't like bums.
No. Well,
Okay.
you'd be surprised.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The kind of women we like.
Right.
Yeah, don't
exactly.
like bums. Yeah.
Now, out of all those songs that we talked about, what would you say is the one that you like the most? If I had to twist your arm and say, pick one.
Well, I want to say it's Right Through the City because there's a quote, well, there's a few lines on there that I'm really, really talking from my heart. So, like we had the conversation earlier about talking to yourself, right?
Yeah.
So let me go through the process with you. On the song, it says, I took my biggest loss when you left me in the halls. When I was a kid, the very first time I got arrested and faced a crime, I was 14 years old. I stabbed a kid during lunchtime at my high school because he was an enemy. I didn't stab him with a knife. I stabbed him with something that they would call a scriber back in the days, you know? It was a sharp tip pen that would write on glass. You know what I mean? It was all I had. I stabbed him with it and ended up going to jail. Well, when I went to the halls, my dad had a drinking problem. You know what I mean? So when you get arrested as a kid, your dad has to come to the court and they usually release you to him, you know, to your parent, right?
Right.
Okay, well, my dad came drunk, you know, like heavily intoxicated. And the judge refused to ever let me go to his custody ever again. He lost, how do you say it? He lost his rights to me. Okay. At that point, I became a ward of the state. So when I say I took my biggest loss when you left me in the halls, I'm talking about that day. Okay. Because it's vivid to me to this day. That was probably one of the biggest heartbreaks I've ever had in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not to be able to leave with your father because of, you know, right? I took the biggest loss when you left me in the halls. The day my father died, I was sitting behind bars. Because after that, that day that he lost custody of me, whether you believe it or not, I accepted in my young heart at that time that I was a ward of the state. Like I don't want to say I embraced it, but I accepted it. You know, I accepted that my mother had died. I accepted that my dad was not in no condition to raise me, and I accepted that I was gonna have to survive in this new system. You know. Right. So. My father died while I was in prison this last time, while I was doing my 10 years. I got the call that he passed away, and it broke my heart, man. Yeah. I think that's what humbled me to be who I am now, honestly. Right. Losing him was like huge because he was my only parent left, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So being in prison, I wanted to get out and redeem myself by taking care of him. When I was in prison, I would have the thought like, my dad's not gonna fucking need to bug nobody no more once I get out. You know what I'm saying? Like when I get out, like you're living with me until you die. You know what I'm saying? Like if people ever judged you for drinking and not being able to maintain, well, guess what? Your son's never gonna judge you, and you're gonna come live with me, and I'm gonna take care of you. And that was really my biggest goal while I was in prison. So when I lost him, I lost purpose, and I had to find a new one, which I did. You know what I'm saying? But I lost a lot of purpose. So for that reason, that song touches me the most. And then also, like you were saying earlier, self-reflection is what matures you a lot, like, right? Like being able to talk to yourself and being able to reflect on your own. Well, I'll be honest with you, that happened to me while I was in prison, you know? A lot of the shit that I acted out on the streets was due to resentment and a lot of heartbreak that I had from a child. And that shit would translate into violence and reckless acts to where I didn't give a fuck about myself. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was very easy not to care about myself. And no bullshit, dog. One day I'm in prison. I swear to you, no lie, dog. I'm sitting down. I got a big old jar of Pruno, and I have a joint in prison, right? And I'm smoking, and I'm all by myself. For some reason, I ended up with myself with all this alcohol and this weed, right? So I'm sitting in my cell and I'm smoking, and I just went on a guilt trip, fool. You know, I got up and I remember looking in the mirror and throwing water on my face and looking at myself in the mirror and thinking to myself, like, how the fuck do you have the nerve to be resentful towards your father and hold and judge him when at least he raised you to the age of 14? Right. But you abandoned your 2-year-old daughter at 2 years old to start doing the street shit and go to prison. Right? Like, it's the truth. You feel me? Like, I was sitting in the cell, not only like in jail, but making it worse, like drinking and smoking weed, resentful towards this man that at least had given me a beautiful childhood. Like, I'm barely making up for that shit with my daughter now. You feel me? Yes. So, that's why that song, because it brings me back to all those thoughts and all that shit. And honestly, when I was writing it, I didn't plan it. It just came out. Almost like I needed to hear it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay.
So I encourage everybody to look that song up. I'll tell you the song, and then we'll go to commercial that I like. Yeah. I like.
Oh, I like. That's right. Yeah.
That's my shit right there.
Well, that was me and Ernie G. Ernie G, my producer, Chunky Chan, produced the beat. He's a kid out of Arizona. You guys should go follow him. buy his beats, fool. Stupid sick.
Chunky
Chan.
Okay.
Yeah, Chunky Chan. Like,
and then Loco Negro Chan was on there with you?
And Loco Negro was on there too. And we got the beat, and I'm searching for a hook. And Ernie G's at the table, and Ernie's outspoken with me in the studio because he knows I know how to take it. You know what I mean? He knows we communicate well. So anyways, so Ernie G's like, he's like, you know what I hear, dog? And I'm like, what's that? He goes, I hear, I like big butts and I cannot lie. So there, after that, I was like, oh, like, boom, like guns. You know what I mean? I switched it up, you know?
Who did the video? I really enjoyed the video.
Von Poe. He goes by Chad Marshall on IG. Okay. He did my video for I Like, and he also shot my video for Dreams in the Cell. He's a very dope artist. He's amazing. That fool, like, he's a cinematic, you know, he should be making movies.
And I could tell by that I Like video. And then there was one more thing.
Fool, he did that like flawless though. Like, if you really look at the takes, I didn't have to do shit but sit in the car once. I ran through my verse twice and he did all the rest, dog.
Okay. You know what I also really enjoyed? And I'm going to tell you what made me rewatch it again and again. Who was that little kid?
That's my son, Vinny. Yeah, that's my little boy.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, my little boy, every time I record, he knows I go to the studio. He's the first one, like, what'd you do? Like, let me hear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm his dad, fool. So, like, you already know, like, he's play it or send it to my mom so I can listen to it while you're at work. You know what I mean? So he memorizes my lyrics, like, quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then,
so was that your idea to put him in?
Yeah, that was my idea. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I think that that shows a different perspective of who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that not only myself though, but for all the dads out there that live this life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We live this life a lot of times not by choice. You know what I mean? Sometimes the street life is just part of our community and our surroundings, and we adapt to it because we're creatures of adaptation. We adapt and evolve into whatever's around us and whatever's necessary. You feel me? So I like to show that part of my life because that's just reality for all of us out here, dog. We all have kids young. We all have babies. Mexicans, us, we're known for breeding, fool. Like, that's what we fucking do.
Rabbits.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So I you know, those are my daughters at the beginning. That's why I say my daughters, I go harder than your whole squad because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, man. I really enjoyed that video, man. That's out of all those songs, if I had to pick one song, that was the song that I really like. So we're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break. We're gonna come right back, and I'm gonna ask you a couple of controversial questions that have hit social media within, I guess, this year. So we're gonna address them. So,
I bet.
Okay, everybody. Once again, call somebody, text somebody, as a matter of fact, page somebody if you still have a beeper, and let them know that Bozo's in the motherfucking building. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't fuck around. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 165. And for those of you that have just tuned in, we will be taking some live calls later on when we put the number up. So give us some time. I had to get the headphones, had to get everything ready. So hopefully you guys call and ask Bozo a question. The only thing I ask you, don't call to try to talk shit. Just, because I'll expose your number, homie. So don't do that. So other than that, we're right back with Bozo. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being so transparent. I think people are getting to see a different side of you that they probably normally wouldn't see outside of just music.
Yeah, for sure.
But there were some things that have been popping up on social media, and I kind of made a note of them, and I wanted to bring it up to you. There was something going around. I had seen a post, and I wasn't sure what this was referring to, and I'll read it to you. And let me see. Where is it at? I'll find it here. Here it is right here. And it said something like this. Don't be one of those old heads on the net hating on the new generation. This shit lame ass food, bro. You had your turn. Don't be mad. You didn't go anywhere with it. Nobody likes being around jealous. Just saying. That's pretty much what it said.
Yeah, so that post, a gang of people started tagging me on it. It was, that post was put up by the homie Little Weirdo out of San Diego, a young artist coming up in the game, strong. And then CNG reposted it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people started tagging me on it. You know what I mean? And okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest. When it came down to Little Weirdo, I knew like he wasn't referring towards me. For one, the little homies out of San Diego, I have nothing but good things to say about him. I reached out to him through my DM on my own like when he first started bubbling,
Right.
And I noticed his talent. I was like, I want to work with the little homie, So, and I say little homie only because he's younger than me, not because. Some people misconstrued. I say that with cariño, you know what I mean? When I call you my little homie, it's like, you one of me, So anyways, so I reached out to him, and then, when people started tagging me on this shit, I reached out to him again right away, and I told him, hey, my boy, look, just so you know, I'm not falling for the goofy shit. Like, I know you don't mean that towards me. And he told me the same thing. He's like, bro, I got my own problems out here in San Diego. Like, you know what's up, Bozo? I was like, likewise, fool. You ever come to LA? I see you. It's all love, bro. God bless you and congratulations on your success, Bam, we ended the night. But when it came to CNG, it's almost like I wanted him to be talking about me. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like me being me, like the rapper on a rap stage, it was like I took it as he was talking to me, because honestly, I'm one of the only men my age that criticizes him or Crook One. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I do it. They see, the thing is this, like, we go back to the tough love, you know what I'm saying? I know that them being young and having a lot of ego at a young age and testosterone or whatever's going on with their little young body, they think that when if anybody says anything that they don't like, that they disagree with, it's hating. That's the biggest disguise right now to somebody saying, to somebody not trying to accept truth or reality. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're a hater. You know what I mean? Right away, like, you're a hater. Oh, they're hating. Look, dog, first of all, go look up hate in the dictionary, and then you'll find out that it's not hate. Because if I hated you, bro, like, it's very easily for me to say something. I got a platform. I could say a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then you could really see the wrath of my hate. You feel what I mean? Which Crook One has seen my hate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And when it comes to CNG and Crook One, it's like, okay, this is my thing. A long time ago when I was a kid, right? Somebody told me, like, don't chew more than you can swallow. You feel what I'm saying? And I say this with the most, like, well, I'm trying to say this the nicest way possible, right? It's like, at the beginning, I understand the little homies come into the game and they look at us, the gangbangers, or the ones that spit that gangster shit, as something that they don't want to be a part of for a lot of reasons, right? because of the sacrifice that comes with this lifestyle.
Yes.
That a lot of it isn't even worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do take a lot of unnecessary risks living the life that we live, right? But we can get deeper into why we do it later on. But anyways, so you know, they see the lifestyle and they look down on it. They frown upon this gangster shit and the gangbanging shit, right? Okay. Right. And they speak it, they vocalize it publicly. Like, I've seen interviews from both of them saying that they're graffiti artists, not gangbangers. You know what I mean? That they live the graffiti style life. Okay, all right, cool. Hey, I accept that. That's great, right? Okay. But then their ego gets the best of them, right? And then they want to be us deep down in their heart because they see the respect that we get. They see the way when we move, we actually make shit move. And they don't have to admit it, but they're admitted to their lyrical content because they're rapping about shit that fools like me have actually done. We're not just pretending or saying it in a booth because it's trending.
Right.
We're saying our pure honesty. You know what I'm saying? We are actually translating things that we see on the block, losses and wins that we've took, okay? Now, to me, it's like, those are mine, fool. I have the luxury to say that shit because I've actually done it. You feel me? And you just said prior that you didn't want nothing to do with my lifestyle and that you weren't one of us. But then you know that that's what sells records, and you know that that's what's going to make you get a following, is saying that you held guns, saying that you're ready for the beef, the funk, that you run around this city and this city. Like, recently the kid Crook One dropped a song called Blue City. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but the only people that I knew rep the blue flag was either Southerners in prison, right, or Crips on the street.
Right.
Los Angeles is a blue city. I heard somebody try to say, oh, it's for the Dodgers. I didn't hear one Dodger mentioned in the whole fucking song. I saw the video. I didn't even see Dodger Stadium in that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I saw it because there's times that I do want to see shit from artists that I don't necessarily like that can possibly change my mind about them. You feel what I mean?
Right.
Like, I still give the benefit of the doubt. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, it's not real beef, eh?
Right.
Like, I'm not going to shoot at these kids or fuck them up if I see them or none of that shit, right? Okay. But this is my thing. It's like, all right, dog, like, you fools want to be spinning this gangster shit, right? Boom, 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 and be saying this shit when it's convenient to you. You know what I mean? When you see profit in it, or when your ego tells you, like, I want to feel like a gangster. But don't be saying before that you're not, that you're this and that. Listen, talk about your graffiti life and how you ran around vandalizing shit, and that's all cute. Do your thing, you know what I mean? But at the same time, don't look down on us that done it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by looking down on us like this, like, so recently that little boy CNG, and I only say little boy because to me he's young, but anyway, no disrespect. But anyways, he posted a picture with a gang of artists that were Chicanos, right?
Right.
A new wave is coming, right? Like, all you fools on that picture, and they could take it to offense if they want, but none of you fools, like, there was like, how you gonna say you're spreading unity and you're doing this and this and that, but then you exclude all the gangbangers that rap out of LA? Like, we're the streets, dog. Like, let's be real. We make shit move. Like, we're the reason why squares in LA can rap to other people in other states and other cities that don't know the business, that they're gangsters. Like, the city that we hold down, not only Los Angeles, but Southern California, period, that we hold down, you're claiming that shit, fool, without having the right to do that shit. Right. Just because you rap, to me, right? This is just my opinion. Nobody has to agree with what I say. Like I said, this is my opinion, right? So you're talking all this gang shit and all this hood shit, but then when you throw a unity picture, and listen, I didn't want to be invited because I don't need a label. I'm an independent artist, and I think I've proven that time and time again. You know what I mean? I don't need the help of nobody. So you do this summit, more or less like an upcoming summit, but neither the label Rancho Humilde or you as an artist invited any street motherfuckers there. Like, you invited homies that might run the streets, and you know, I'm sure they live in neighborhoods, and I'm sure they have family, but nobody that actually bangs the city. I think Drummer was there. Which I know his history. I know where he's from, and I know that he lives the life. You know what I'm saying? I know that Drummer can say whatever the fuck he wants if it comes to this thug shit, gangster shit. But aside from him, you didn't have not one homie there that's like with the business, that really that is really tapped into the streets. All you did was put a lot of homies up there with talent, because they all got talent and they all rap like a motherfucker, and they're all trending and they're doing good, right?
Right.
But you don't want to give us credit. Like, none of the homies credit. There's a lot of young artists coming up that are really from hoods, that really are doing shit out here, but you exclude them. And I know it's for a reason, because let me explain something to you, right, real quick. In the street level, right? The graffiti artists, which are taggers, don't like the gang members. And that's just a fact. Because the gang members typically bully them and punk the shit out of them on the streets. And anybody that runs the streets can tell you that's a fact.
Right.
That's why graffiti artists don't have barrios. They don't have hoods. They don't have somewhere to hang up their flag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, bro, be honest with this shit and give credit where credit's due. Like, if you're gonna fucking spit about the shit that we do, at least have the common courtesy to involve the homies in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you go to a hotel, fool, and just move in without paying the owner of the hotel? It doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't park on the public street in Los Angeles without putting quarters in that meter. Hey, motherfucker, cash me in. Cash the homies in.
Right.
Bring the little homies in. You talk about unity. You really want to show unity in music? Then bring them in. If you don't, you're scared.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. I could be wrong. This is just my opinion as a street motherfucker, as somebody that really represents the homies in the streets. And I believe that that's transparent, like, as fuck. Like, you could see it, dog. Like,
right.
No little homies. Why aren't the homies there from Bowling Movement? Why wasn't Tres there from Compton? You know what I mean? Why weren't fucking a gang of homies from the IE that are putting it down there, that are from actual hoods, like homies from upstate? Why aren't they there? Like, I don't get it. Like, so you're telling me that if we're really from the streets and we really bang this shit that you're putting out there, we're not invited to your party? You know what I mean? That to me is a loud statement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I got offended and I started calling them nerds. I think I said something like "Revenge of the Nerds," and you know what I mean. And I probably, I shouldn't have said that, because there's a lot of homies in that picture that are just like, casualties of war, basically, I guess. But when you're talking about like fools, like, you know what? Like, there's just a lot of fools there that aren't with the business. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm, I don't mean it in a bad way.
Right.
I'm just being honest, you know what I'm saying? And they can't say that about me, you know what I mean?
Did you ever, you said you talked to a little weirdo from San Diego. Mm-hmm. Did you ever talk to C&G at all?
No, I didn't, because I don't like, to me, dog, and look, and like I said, man, a lot of people are going to take it as disrespectful, but the little homie can't sit at my lunch table, dog. Like, I just don't feel it, I don't see I don't see the need to like reach out or want to communicate. Like, to me, like, they've done enough, and not only have they, but their team around them has done enough too. Like, nobody's there gaming them up, eh? Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, dog. Back to my reference of a motel, right? Trust and believe, fool. Some things are gonna be said in music that are gonna attract the wrong attention. And in reality, that's what I'm trying to warn them. Because if they think that I got a problem with it, trust and believe, like, a lot of other people got a problem with it too. Right. And you don't really want those problems. Like, enjoy your music, make your music, talk about your lifestyle, and live off of that, dog. Live your truth, Be honest with the content you're putting out there. Because with influence comes responsibility. Don't be in the booth leading your audience, which is all kids, maturity, to do this gang shit when you didn't even do it yourself. That's my biggest thing, you know what I mean? Don't be, I could picture myself as a big homie in my hood, right? And I'm sending my little homies out to do missions that could get them life in prison and just instigate shit, but I never do it. That to me is a bitch ass big homie. That to me is not a big homie. That's the devil right there, you feel me?
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about the music. Like, a lot of these dudes are glorifying a lifestyle they couldn't even pay the price for. You know what I mean? They're putting out a lot of shit there just for the purpose of acceptance. You know what I mean? If you're really confident in your life and you're really proud of the things you've done, then talk about your life. A lot of rappers have made it successfully without ever talking street shit or acting like they're gangsters. Right. You know what I mean? Don't be talking about holding 40s all day if you don't even have one, dog. Like, cut it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What about this Crooks One? Have you spoken to him at all since? I almost made
No, because as far as him, like, that kid, to me personally, he might be a great person in real life. You know, I don't want to take nothing from who he is in his real life. He might be a great son, a great friend, and all that shit, right?
Right.
And that's great.
Right.
But when it comes to the music shit, he's another one that doesn't feel the obligation to be honest with his audience. You feel what I'm saying? And that shit, for one, bothers me because he's from my area. So therefore, like, I have access to like who he really is and what he's about. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And he's another one that has said it publicly, like, "Oh, I'm not a gang member." Pull up his page right now. That fool's in Dickies and long socks like a motherfucker, posted somewhere. You know what I mean? And to me, it's like, bro, like, you're another one steady talking about putting fools down and banging and this shit and this shit and this shit. You even got letters tattooed on your face like you're a gang member, but you're not. And then you said that you don't want to be a Chicano rapper, but obviously, if you're saying Blue City and you're dressing a certain way, you're going after our audience. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So make up your mind, bro. And I don't give a fuck. If I gotta be the asshole and I gotta be that grouchy ass OG fool talking shit, I'll do that shit, dog. Like, I have no problem with that. Like, I have no problem with being an honest villain, dog.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, absolutely none. Because honestly, they ain't gonna say shit to me, fool. Let's be real, because they you know, why would they? Like, why would they want those problems? And then it's just one of them things where, like, you know, I'm the old bull, fool. Like, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, when I think it's necessary, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I guess just it takes me back to like when I was like speaking on Chino Grande and like, you know, speaking on Capone and them, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are grown men too. So don't get it fucked up. I'm not just gonna pick on a 26-year-old, to me, which is a grown man already. I was 18 years old on the 3-yard with grown ass men, you know? So I'm gonna call anybody out. You know what I mean? I'll call out anybody for all these goofy ass fools on the internet. For one, like Night Owl and this other fucking weird ass dude, like talking all that shit. Like, these vatos, for one. See, this is like brave juice right here, dog. You know what I mean? This shit right here is like, fools plug into it and it's almost like it's plugged directly into their chest, fool. You know what I mean? Like, this shit right here is like nitro to a fucking vehicle for a lot of fools. And the fucked up part is that old ass fools are even acting like these young ass fools. Because, but let's get real, look. I read another book, right? I hate going back to books, but I'm a very knowledgeable. Okay. I read a book named, what the fuck was it called? I think it was named How to Love. Okay? How to Love. And this book really like put me in it sat me down, fool. Because believe it or not, I'm not the toughest motherfucker in this world. And there's a lot of tougher, more vicious motherfuckers in me, and I acknowledge that shit. Yeah. I know when it's time for me to shut the fuck up and take a seat back and be humble and just listen. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know when it's time to pay homage to motherfuckers that are willing to take it farther than me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I do have respect. You could call it fear. You could call it whatever you want. But I'm a humble individual. All right. And that came with understanding that ego is my worst enemy. Okay? And that's what these vatos don't understand. When I'm talking about the younger ones and when I'm talking about the older ones, they don't understand that they're feeding into their ego, dog.
Yes.
And all they're doing, fool, is making it more and more transparent of how fucking jealous, selfish, and weak and insecure they are of themselves. You know what I mean? Because if you're reprimanding somebody, right? Let's say you're at a job, fool, right? And your boss calls you in the office. Hey, you're getting written up. For what? Well, I'm gonna write you up because you didn't follow safety protocol and you're jeopardizing the life of your crew and yourselves. Woo woo, point A, point B, you know? We're going into the reasons why. Okay? If somebody's hating on you, fool, without no valid reason, for no justification, that only tells you, homie, that their ego is so hurt by the fact that you have something real to talk about, that you have something that they lack. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And when I see the little homies talking about our lives, which is the gangsters, the shooters out here, it's like, little bro, you know damn well you're not riding around with a burner, and you know damn well you're not thugging like that. Because if you were, you wouldn't have nothing but rappers in your videos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You would have been to jail for a couple years. Because when you're with the business, that shit comes with it. You know what I mean? And it goes for the youngsters and those old ass fools. I hear those old ass fools talking this OG shit with their mouth like bro, like shut the fuck up. First of all, we all saw you get slapped on YouTube 10 years ago. Second of all, your other dummy, you're vouching for this Vato and what he's saying when you can easily confront people face to face. I'm on the streets all the time. If any little homies ever tap in with me and want to sit down with me and talk about this shit, we can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, there's ways to go about this shit, dog. But the one thing is always to acknowledge to stay in your place, dog. Yeah. Stay in your place, play in your position. You know what I mean? Play your position right. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a young rapper and enjoy your life, fool, don't be talking about thugging and shit. Talk about partying. Talk about the little bitches you're boning on IG and all the little bad bitches that follow you. Talk about hustling, making money. Why you gotta go into the gangster shit? Right. Leave that shit to the gangsters. You feel me? So I guess that's my problem. I can't let go of this gangster shit. You feel me? Right. And to me, it's sacred. You know? Right.
Well, you know what? You're speaking within your heart, bro, and you know I appreciate that. I appreciate you being transparent.
Yeah, for sure.
There was one last controversial question, and it was surfing through YouTube. I come across this one guy who calls his page Savage Studios, and he made a video said exposing Bozo. I don't know who this guy is. I just clicked on it, and he was saying some things. I just stopped it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you listen to the video? And who is this
I listened to it because somebody that I care for sent it to me. You know what I mean? Okay. So, and they were concerned of what was going on. Like, you know, my regular family was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Right. You know, and I was like, "Oh, this goofy ass fool made." You know, okay, let's speak like adults and men, right? All right. And we're going back to the ego again. Okay. This Vato used to get on YouTube and be talking about how our lifestyle that we live is a fucking joke, and that this gang banging, these prison gangs are designed to only use you and abuse you, okay, and to make you a fucking pawn, okay. All right, cool. He has his opinion, whatever. It's great, right? But then he's manipulating his audience and convincing them to become PCs and 2-5ers, that there's honor with the 2-5 brothers and the PC brothers. At that point, I got offended. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like this, bro. For one, I've been to prison and done a gang of time. And this is another thing, that this guy likes to go into like prison history, like he's the thesaurus for every prison yard, and he's been there to see every move and every pegada and all this shit, right? Shit that he shouldn't be talking about to begin with. You know what I mean? All right, so he's on YouTube preaching his 2-5 PC gospel. That's what I call it, you know? All right. So he's on there and he's basically talking shit about all of us, right? When I'm looking at this fool, I'm thinking like, bro, like, I could see already just by YouTube, you got a big mouth when your ego is fucking bigger than your fucking community you live in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Second of all, I can picture you on the yard being the way you are. You know what I mean? And it's obvious you're a fucking meth head just by the drug addict tattoos you have. Let's be real, fool. Tweakers get tweaker tattoos. Fucked up, beat up shit. I could take on my shirt right now. I have tattoos that are 20 years old, still look fresh as shit. You know what I mean? Like, I would never let nobody scribble on me some bullshit. You know what I mean? All right. And another thing about that is tattoos, when fools are getting them in prison, not always. I could be wrong on the margin of this shit, right? But a lot of times the quality of the work will tell you the kind of individual you're fucking with. You know what I mean? The dopest tattoo artists only tend to tattoo on the dopest of gangsters on the yard. Mm-hmm. Does that make any sense? Yeah. Like, you'll get the quality of work depending on the quality individual that you are on the yard a lot of times. You know what I mean? So a lot of fools, if they pro with fucked up, beat up tattoos, it's just because they were letting any dummy with a tattoo gun scribble on them because they couldn't either afford or warrant a dope ass tattoo artist to tattoo on them. So I'm looking at his tweaker tattoos and I'm thinking, all right, you were that fool in the yard chasing the sack. You know what I mean? With that big ass ego of yours. And like, it usually ends up fools like you wrecked. I don't know what he did or exact, because I don't know the details of what he did. So obviously he locked it up, okay? And he says that he locked it up because he wanted to be better and come home and raise his family and set the right example. He no longer wanted nothing to do with the structure that we call ours and the gang life, because he wasn't a pawn and he had a bigger purpose. And real men don't listen to nobody. Real men follow their whatever. So for like a typical manipulating, egotistical, narcissistic man will do. Me, me, me. So this fool locks it up, right? You would think, okay, this man knows that by locking up and going PC, he just put a target on his back, right?
Yeah.
If he was so concerned about his family and about being righteous, why the fuck would you go public with that shit and make yourself a bigger target even now? Right. When, for one, you still live with your family. It's not like you moved out, you know what I mean? And you're like on your own, like, nah. You're talking all this dumb shit on IG, and then his ego was so big, dog, that he went and insulted the people that you never insult publicly.
Somebody send me that.
If a man of wisdom and a man of humbleness and a man of righteousness is in this position, you know, locking it up means you did something wrong, obviously, right? You take that to the chin, you get out, and you stay humble. You know what I'm saying? If you were humble to the point where you had to ask to be removed from general population because your life was in danger, then have the same humbleness when you get out. Yeah. But that'll tell you something though. There is no humbleness in it. His ego was so big, he wanted to slid through the system and still be the biggest guy around. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So he gets out, he goes on YouTube and he's preaching all his righteous bullshit. But not only is he fucking making more enemies, he's dragging his whole family into this situation, dog. So to me, it's like, bro, I will never, ever, ever have an argument with a fool. Yeah. Like, I'm way too thorough to argue with you, fool. Like,
have you ever met this guy at all?
No, never met him. No,
so he doesn't even know you then?
No, well, he knows me. Yeah, he knows me. He knows who I am, and he knows of me because he's a YouTube worm, man. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure like he generated my shit and then he got mad because I put a post that said, if you're one of them fools on the yard, okay, because right now in prison on the 1 and 2 yards, the lower level yards, they're giving you the option to program with PCs, meaning sex offenders, meaning rats, meaning dropouts, okay? All the worst of the worst on the totem pole of criminals as it is, okay? All right. They're giving you the option to program with them in order to go home early. Okay? All right. So let's evaluate this situation, okay? A lot of you motherfuckers are in jail for sending your family to hell and disregarding your obligations as whatever part of the family you're in, and went to jail knowing that you're going to leave your whole people behind and all that, right? So now you go to jail, okay? Right. But now if there's no drugs, no alcohol, no females to feed your ego, you're humble enough to program with the fucking trash, eh? Because now you want to come home and be a devoted family member. Nah, bitch. Like you made it clear when you were out there running around with that meth pipe or with that gun or robbing, whatever the case was, right? That you didn't give a fuck, dog. Don't switch up now, fool, that you don't have the comforts of life. Right. Own your shit, bro. That's what being a man is, dog. A man holds himself accountable to the furthest degree of the situation, fool. So I posted, if you're one of them fools programming with PCs to come home early, you're fucking leva, which means you're fucking lame. And I mean that shit, dog. Right. You're trying to shortcut through the lesson. Right. You know what I mean? You're trying to weasel yourself out of being held accountable for what you did. You know what I mean? That you're willing to program with fools that touch little girls, tell on their brothers, fucking burn people for drugs. You know what I mean? Like jailhouse thieves, so forth and so forth. Rapists, homosexuals, all that shit. You know, like no disrespect to the homosexuals. They do their thing, but in prison you get segregated for being a homosexual. That's the only reason why I bring them up. Whoever you be with is your business. Right. I'm not laying in the bed with you. I can give a fuck who you're poking or who you're not. You know what I'm saying? But to me, accountability is everything, bro. To me, lack of accountability is what's holding us back as a community. Stop worrying about the fucking next man and hold yourself accountable for shit. Don't be looking to get in a group and hold people accountable. Hold shit accountable individually. And what I mean by that is saying this. Don't complain about the past and what happened. Change it with your present actions.
Right.
Does it make sense what I'm saying? Like, don't be looking towards history and the past and blaming your present situation now, because, bro, how many immigrants do we know that fucking walk deserts, cross borders against law enforcement, come here, work for the lowest minimum wage, and make something beautiful out of their life? Perfect example, me, first generation born here. My mom made sure that she held herself accountable for the situation she was in. She didn't sit in El Salvador with a picket sign complaining about what her government wasn't doing for her and what life didn't do for her. Nah, my mother crossed that valley, came to this country, worked her ass off, owned a home by the time she died in Pico Rivera, and made sure that her son was born American and had fucking ethic in him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how you change shit, fool.
Yeah.
Rioting and all this other shit is not gonna help, bro. It's not gonna help. All that shit that we do. So that PC trying to talk from his fucking house about how us as homies that run a structure, mind you, a program structure that avoids people getting killed, robbed, raped in prison, are wrong for doing that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's, you know, it's not always pretty. Don't get me wrong. You know, we're not a fucking Boy Scout club. You know, there's a lot of treachery, a lot of shit that goes on in it. But then again, hold yourself accountable. You said you were that goon and that gangster ready for that life. Don't just do it when it's cool, bro.
Right.
Ride this shit out. Like, we all have to ride it out. Until you write it out, you're not going to be the man that you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it comes with accountability. So that was my way of just laughing at him and clowning him for the gospel that he's trying to preach, you know?
Okay. You know, I'm glad you said something. You said you were first generation here.
Yeah, for sure.
And so am I. My mother and my father came over here, you know, to this country for a better life. And I'm thankful for that, because who would have thought that, you know, your family came, my family came, and now we're sitting here.
Most definitely, right?
Yeah.
They changed their circumstance. They didn't sit there complaining about it. Imagine they would have sit there complaining. We'd still be stuck over there too, fool.
Yeah.
Getting fed what? Getting slaughtered by who? Struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's on you, homie. Like, at the end of the day, fool, you gotta you know, you gotta measure like your desires by your actions. You know what I mean?
Right.
You tell me how fast and hard you move, and I'll tell you how bad you want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have one more question, and then we're gonna take some calls. In the Source magazine, and the reason why I bring this up, because I was looking at that hip hop documentary, and they mentioned the Source magazine, which, you know, back in the 90s, that used to be the Bible of hip hop. Okay?
Yeah, and they banned a lot of rappers and accepted a lot and blackballed also.
Yes.
So yeah.
There was a section on there, which I think I'm going to start doing on Instagram. It used to be called Unsigned Hype.
Yeah, for sure.
Biggie was on there, and Mobb Deep was on there, just to name a few. Unsigned Hype, for those of you who may not have ever seen the Source magazine, was like on the up and coming.
Yeah, for sure.
They weren't signed yet, and there was a lot of hype on them because
they were on
dope.
the radar for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I want to start doing is pick an artist, listen to their music, post them up on my Instagram. I don't necessarily even have to know them, and then post them up on during the break. This is Unsigned Hype. Not saying that they need a record deal, you know, but just saying this is a person right now that's on fire or that's, you know, that's popping. If I were to ask you, who would you say right now is on your radar as Unsigned Hype right now? Maybe an up and coming artist. Is there anyone out there that you could say, this guy right here, nobody really knows about? He's on the rise. I think he's dope. Or it could even be a female. Is there anybody out there that...
There's a lot of them. I could say Sucker Free out of Lennox, Vado Lennox. I could say a little homie Isar Mayer from Barrio Nuevo. I could say the homie Scheme from he's from Sur 13 in South Central. I could say Little Weirdo from San Diego. I could say Peso out of Huntington Park. I think Suede just got signed, but Suede out of HP also. Shit, who else do I see that has a lot of fucking talent as far as homies? The little homegirl Ray Monique. The little homegirl Bella the Rapper.
Yeah.
Let me see. Fuck, I'm probably missing a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the kid that you're working with, D.
Yeah.
I reached out to him to work with him also. A18 Robs, A18. shit, my video fuckingographer, Graphic by Nature, he's dope. Baby Bounce right here.
Right.
Misfits still not signed. Let's be real.
Right.
Shit, there's a gang of them, dog. Like, listen, let's make this clear, dog. Like, the homies are somebody out of this young generation. I'm talking about under me is gonna take off sick soon.
Yeah.
I think that Suede, I honestly think that kid's gonna go through the roof. You can mark my words later on. And I think Little Weirdo is also another one. You know what I mean? And I think that them for sure, just because they fit the vibe and the style that's going on right now, and it matches their talent. You feel what I'm saying? Them little fools are dope. They sound great. They're dope and they're authentic, original. You feel what I mean?
Right.
They're not fabricating shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as I can tell, when I see them, I honestly feel what they're saying. You know?
Right.
It seems very authentic. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, all them A1A Robs, that fool's dope as fuck too.
Okay.
He's another one that I think that he has the potential to really go through the roof, you know?
Okay. And you know what? More than half of those I hadn't even heard.
Yeah.
So that's educated me as well to look into them because not only do I, like I said, I don't necessarily even have to know them, but I would like to post them up and say, you know, unsigned hype, Raza on the rise.
And see, this is a thing that circumstantially, I know a lot of them think that I hate on them, man. That's what's fucked up. You know what I mean? And that's the only bad part of the stance that I take. You know what I'm saying? Is that I push away a lot of the youth unknowingly because I'm talking about their peers.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, to me, sometimes as an old head, as a G, I just see it as like, fuck it. If the little homies are that weak to think I'm talking about them, then fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I mean, straight up, I'm not here to pamper nobody or baby nobody. Like, little do they know, like, I wish none but the best for them. And I started this shit that I started so that it would be easier for them. You feel what I'm saying?
Good point.
You know what I mean? I never came into it thinking that I would be the Jay-Z of Chicano rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I came into it knowing that I would be more like an Ice Cube, fool. Somebody that's hated and loved. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody that has a voice and isn't afraid to use it sometimes. And somebody that's gonna make enemies sometimes, but somebody that just doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not after fame, you know what I mean? I'm just after expressing myself, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be able to express myself and do for myself what Nipsey did for me, what Tupac did for me. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fools that planted seeds and helped me mature because there was no other voice of guidance at the time. There was no other voice of reason at the time. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was able to learn through their experiences through music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to all the little homies, man, like, hey, I apologize if you guys think that ain't no love. Like, shit, reach out. You feel me? Or you don't even gotta reach out because you know it is what it is. But you know, just keep an open mind, dog. Like, the discipline needed in order for you to navigate through life sometimes doesn't always come wrapped as a gift with a bow on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of times you need to hear a motherfucker with some grit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Speaking to you. You know what I mean? So
okay, Alex, go ahead and put up the number. We're gonna go ahead and start taking some phone calls, and try to keep the phone calls under like at least 2 minutes, you know, so we can try to get everybody in. We got a couple of minutes left. We're going to go ahead and start the live calls. So as soon as the number is up, let me know when it's up, Alex, and you guys can start calling. We'll be ready for you guys. Other than that, once again, I want to thank Bozo for coming through. Now we're going to give the public an opportunity. Hopefully we can get this number up and for you guys to ask Bozo a question about music or
whatever.
You know, yeah.
Don't trip. Ask me whatever.
Yeah, you know, meanwhile, while he's looking for it, 2021, what can people expect from Bozo? An album, EP, shows?
I'm dropping a classic album this next week coming up.
Okay.
I think it's one of the strongest projects I've ever done. I concentrated on our culture on this project, you know?
Okay.
On putting on a few young artists. I have features from A1A Rob on there, up and coming artists out of the Valley. Like I said, Eastside Mayor, I have him on there. I have Scheme on there. I have Sucker Free. And then I have King Lil G on there. And then I have Sad Boy Loco on there. And then I have Rich Garcia on there. You feel what I mean? So I highlighted a lot of I wanted to go hard on our culture because I feel like, I feel like this Instagram shit, dog, is influencing our youth like crazy. You know what I mean? And I think that they're forgetting. It's almost like you not remembering that uncle that went to war in your family. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they're seeing the work that we've done and they're overlooking it and thinking that they have to fit a certain style and act like a certain race to be on. You feel what I mean?
Okay.
So I dropped this album with none but Raza on it because I want to showcase our talent, just purely us. You know what I mean?
The number's up. Let's go ahead and take that call.
Do I need those?
Yeah. Put the wire on your left hand side.
On the left.
Okay.
This side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Caller, are you there? Hello, caller. Caller, are you there? Hello.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Bozo?
What's up with you, big dog? Talk to me.
Got a question for you right quick.
Yeah.
Top 3 Mexican rappers you'd want to work with from Texas.
Top 3 Mexican rappers out of Texas I want to work with?
Yeah.
That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
Shit. I want to work with damn, man. GT Garza's dope. I've worked with him in the past, but I want to work with him again. I think Baby Youngin is dope too, you know? He's a young kid. And a third one, damn. Let me think.
While you're thinking that GT Garza, we've been in communication, so he's going to be here. He's going to give me a date.
Dope artist, man. Cool dude. Baby Youngin. And shit, I think that I'm trying to think like I like Slowpoke still, you know? I still fuck with Slowpoke.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Okay, cool, man. Thank you.
Keep doing your thing.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Have a blessed night, bro. Okay. We got the number up there. We got the number up there, so if anybody wants to call, go ahead and keep calling. We're going to take a couple of more phone calls. Okay, we got another one. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from? Hello, caller. Hello.
They got that cricket phone.
I guess so.
That Obama phone.
Yeah. Okay, call back, caller. We can't hear you, so... Okay, we got another number. Caller. Okay. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah, you got to... where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Reno.
Okay. You got a question for Bozo?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Who's asking me the question? What's up, though? Talk to me.
Oh, what's up, Bozo? I've been listening to you since your free Bozo album.
Man, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hey, man, are you ever going to make an album with anybody from High Power or?
Well, I mean, that's a tricky question, bro, because I was a part of High Power, so I know the way they work, and I strongly feel that none of them would be allowed to work with me, just because of who runs the label and, you know what I mean, who makes decisions on that label. You know what I mean? They don't. Yeah, nobody on High Power has extreme freedom to work with whoever they want. Trust me.
What about? I know Mr. Criminal ain't from High Power. Will you ever work with him again?
Yeah, me and Criminal talk. You know, like that's the homie and shit. But he's busy, and you know, I'm doing my thing. So when it's convenient, I guess it'll happen. You know, that's the way it's looking right now. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Thank you, man, and thank you, Tony.
You got it, brother. Thank you. Have a blessed night, man. Okay, the number's up. We got another call. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from? Hello. Caller. These people keep calling via Wi-Fi. Maybe you just got a bad connection, but it says Salinas, California. Call back, caller. Okay. We got another one. This one's local from Long Beach. Hello? Caller. I don't know why these calls ain't coming through. Hello, can you hear us?
No, hell no.
Okay, call back. Okay, well, now we got another call. Oh, I know where this is from. Hello, caller. Anything over there, Alex? No. We're getting calls over here, but I don't know how some work and some don't work.
Yeah.
So, okay. Call back. Okay, let's go again. Hello, caller. Are you there? Hello, caller. Hey, hello? Okay, I don't know why you guys are not coming through. We just had a couple of phone calls and...
What happened?
Bluetooth, just try it again.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Let's
go ahead. Try to refresh this shit.
Yeah.
So we could tap in with you guys.
Give us 1 second. Okay, let me go ahead and do this shit again. Let me know when that happens again, Alex.
Is the Wi-Fi on your phone?
Yeah, it's on. Okay, let's take another call. Hello?
I hear you.
Yo. What's good?
You hear me? I hear you.
Yeah, you got a question for Bozo?
Where you calling from, Doug?
Yeah.
Where you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah, where you calling from?
Whittier.
Oh, Whittier, what's up with you, bro? It's cracking.
What's good? Not much, man. I got a question.
Yeah, run it.
Yo. You'll ever give a CNG and Crip one a chance?
Probably not.
We want to hear some shit, bro.
Yeah.
We want to hear some shit.
Yeah, but the thing is this though, right? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay?
Yeah.
So just so you understand my perspective and where I'm coming from, right? All right. So let's say you're in the business of driving trucks, big diesel trucks, right? And
yeah, it's funny how you say that because I do.
Okay, all right, perfect, right? Okay, so let's say that your boss tells you, hey, I got this guy that I want you to travel from here to New York with. You guys are gonna split the shifts, you know what I mean? Drive on and off whenever you guys need rest, right? Okay, and then he tells you, but he's only been driving a truck for about a week, bro. Like you gonna take that there exactly. So then now you feel where I'm coming from, right? It's not gonna happen, bro. You feel me? Like I'd rather just drive that shit all by myself if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I am my question.
No, but I appreciate you. No, I hear your intentions, and that would be great. But I mean, at some point, like whether you want to or not, if you take a stance, you gotta own it. You know what I mean? And I choose to own my stance. You feel me?
Dope.
Right. Hey, I can't wait for your new shit. I'm ready to bang that shit.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you for that, man. God bless.
Cool. Thank you, man. Have a blessed night, brother.
All right, Bozo.
Yeah, bet.
Right. Okay, let's take another phone call. Let's take a couple more. Let's see. This is hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Los Angeles.
What's up with you, Pedro? Talk to me.
What's up? What's up, Tony? What's up, Bozo?
What's up with you,
Tony? Hey, what's up, homie? Hey, like always, homie, I love your show, dog. Bozo, what's up, carnal?
What's up,
homie? I'm from the fence, my boy. So I grew up in one neighborhood, and your neighborhood fucking with each other and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think around that time you were locked up a lot, dog.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure
anyways, hey, my boy, I just want to say, look, I'm really glad, homie, that you know you're pushing what you're pushing, my boy, and you know what your mind is at, homie. You know, you could tell that you separate yourself from the men, from the kids, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the comments and shit, some dumbass said, "Oh, this vato, he's talking too much." You know, if somebody's supposed to do that, you just stay quiet. Well, you know what, homie? That's what happened in the past. The homies used to stay quiet, dog, and nobody never knew nothing.
Most
you know
definitely.
what I'm saying, homie? But hearing you know what I mean? That's what a leader is, homie. You know what I'm saying? Take control and you know, you're giving advice like what you said. I'm not gonna hurt the homies. I'm not gonna be a devil to them or a demon. I'm gonna help the motherfuckers out. And I'm right with you on that, homie. I agree. I'm with education. I'm with bettering ourselves and growing. You know what I'm saying, homie? We've been stuck in that motherfucking box too long. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You rap for me, I love the way you rap because you decipher your shit, homie. It's not like somebody that's fucking on some kindergarten level, junior high shit, where you already know what they're saying, dog. Like when you, King Lil Chi, a bunch, I could go on and on, Misfit, I could go on and on, homie. You decipher their shit, dog. You gotta think on what they're saying. You know what I'm saying, homie?
No, for sure. It's like watching. It's like choosing between watching Sesame Street or National Geographic. You feel me?
Exactly, my boy. Exactly. But I don't give a fuck, homie. You know, if people are gonna hate, fuck them, homie. I'm with you, my boy. You know what I'm saying? I love the fucking movement Tony A's on. You know what I'm saying? Get everything he's getting together. And, you know, the thing with North and the South, homie, I'm going to tell you something, homie. When I was younger and being in prison and doing all this shit, I used to hate that shit because that's how I grew up. But you know what, homie? We're different times now. And you got to kind of like, you gotta, what do you say, adapt, or you gotta
have an open mind. You gotta open your mind. Yeah,
you gotta have an open mind, homie, because this is what I'm thinking, my boy. I'm thinking, okay, we're fucking starting to get along. I'm thinking business, my boay. Shit, I could push out there. Whoa,
yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, I hear you, Pedro.
But I'm, hey, love's going that way. Hell yeah. If we're like, nah, fuck that. Yeah, you better
I hear you.
All good, brother.
I'm stacking my paper up, homie.
Yeah.
All right, big dog.
Paper up, you know?
Awesome. Yeah, gracias.
Right,
hey, I appreciate you.
I love you, doggy.
All right, brother.
All right, homie. All right,
stay blessed. Yes.
A ti.
Okay, everybody, if you're going to be calling in, please stay away from your TV because we're getting feedback.
Yeah.
Okay? Turn down your TV when you call. Okay, caller? Hello, caller?
Stay away from your TV because we're getting feedback.
Hello?
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, somehow we're still getting feedback, Alex. Okay.
Hello, you there, big dog? Turn it up. Let me hear him. I don't want to hang up on him.
Hold on.
Just want to say shout out to Jody.
Oh, I know who this is. Yes. Same person with the same voice, bro. But you know what? Same person. I'll tell you who that was.
Okay. Yeah, you got the stands on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, that was Day Pigeon.
You got
So hold on 1 second. Okay, we did it again. Let's go again. Hello? Caller, where are you calling from?
Oh, calling from Oxnard.
What's up with you, my boy? Talk to me.
What's up? What's happening, Bozo? Just want to give you some props, man. They want to say what's up, Tony A.
What's up, brother?
Show's the bomb, dog.
Thank you.
I'm always watching this shit. You guys are doing your thing. Hey, man, nobody can hate on you, Bozo.
Thank
nobody
you.
Can hate on
Appreciate
you
it,
when
bro.
you're doing it.
Yeah, likewise, my boy.
Yeah, man, just continue doing you, man.
Appreciate it, homie. Thank you very much.
So, all right, peace.
All right,
God
brother.
bless.
Stay blessed. Okay, we'll take a couple of more phone calls. Whenever you hear that Rocky voice, yeah, what's up, Tony? That's that motherfucker right now. Call me, take away. Hello.
It's in your mouth. It's sensitive.
Hello.
It.
Hello.
Put me on with that motherfucker Bozo, man. It's Savage Studios, man. You know the deal.
What you want to do, killer?
Hey, listen,
This
man.
goofy ass fool. Hey, bro, don't be stalking me on people's YouTube channels,
listen,
homie.
Hey, shut your bitch ass.
Okay. You calling me your mom's name now, huh? Okay, run it.
Hey,
Go ahead.
You speaking on my name. You speaking on my name, right?
Go
Let
ahead.
me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, ask the
if
question.
You so motherfucking if you so above me, right? You block me. You don't want to deal with me.
Yeah.
Why you still speaking on my name, homie? Why you still speaking on my name?
Because
homie?
to talk to you directly is to talk to a confidential informant, homie, and to argue with you and to take it anywhere gangster is to admit myself to any criminal activity, fool. You already debriefed, you already rolled it up, fool. Nobody's gonna argue, nobody's gonna beef with you, dog. You know what you got coming. You going to hell all by yourself, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Judas died by himself. Remember that, sucker. Don't try to talk to a righteous one like you got the right to, my boy. You ain't nothing but the bottom of the toilet, baby. Don't forget that shit. You ain't gonna do nothing, bro. Stop it. You gonna tell on me is what you gonna do. You already proved that shit. You already proved that shit, bro. And you're great at telling. Keep telling.
Let me talk. Let me say something now. Let me say something. We can sign waivers. We can do it for a charity.
Sign waivers? Who talks like that, fool? Only a prior rat would say, let's sign waivers, fool. Straight up. Because only a motherfucker like you knows how to work with paperwork and a pen, fool. Shut the fuck up. You're talking to an intelligent fool with your manipulating ass. Yes, I'm very scared, bro. That's why I never locked it up. You couldn't do that. My hood is thorough, fool. Look about it, dog. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. Yeah, that's great. That's great. You done? Are you done? Are you fucking done, weirdo? Go smoke your meth, fool, and jack off in your room, bro. Go nobody. No, I'm having fun. Hey, nah, go ahead. Hang on. Shut your punk ass up, boy.
Okay.
Stop it.
Callers,
let's go ahead.
Please call and ask about music. Thank you. Hello, who's this and where are you calling from?
Urque, Nuevo Mexico, what's up?
¿Qué onda, perrito? ¿Cómo estás?
Much respect to Tony A and Bozo.
Yes, sir.
Love your music, homeboy.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Keep it popping, Holmes.
How you doing over there? How's everything with you?
Cool, man.
You good?
You got
Healthy?
a question, music or anything?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a question about music, brother?
I gotta let you guys go, brother, but keep it up, man.
All right, thank you, bro. You
All
too,
right,
my
stay
boy.
blessed, man. All right, take 2 more calls. Are we cool?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That was a nice surprise, though.
I think that shit's funny.
Yeah.
I think that shit's funny that motherfuckers that it's like this, dog. It's like
Hold on. The caller.
you it's like I don't follow that dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna. He could throw an event fucking anywhere. I'm not gonna be following him or feed into his gospel. You know, fools when they tune in and they hate you, right? It's because that's the only way they want to see you, dog, is through a screen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, in reality, like they just want to.
Hey, caller, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Denver. What up, Tony A?
Hey, Denver's in the building.
What
How
up,
you doing?
Bozo?
What's up with you, man? Sky
Denver
high,
in the
baby.
building.
Mile
Call me
high,
G
mile
in the house, baby.
Mile High City was cracking.
What's up?
Chilling, brother.
All right, my G. I just wanted to send out mad love, dog, to you and Tony. You know what I mean? Nothing but love, baby.
Thank you, brother.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it.
Much love to the show. I appreciate everything you do for Chicano rap, everything for the Raza and everything. You know what I mean? Just keep up the good work. Bozo, you're a solid motherfucker. Much love, dog.
Appreciate
Much love,
you, bro.
Have a
Thank
blessed
you.
night, homie. Okay, we'll take one last phone call. Who's going to be the lucky caller? Hello, everyone. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Calling from Sacramento, bro. How you doing tonight?
Sacramento's in the building. I'm
What's
good,
up with
brother.
you, bro?
Yeah, how you doing, homie? Hey, I want to tell you, Bozo, I love your music. I'm Tony A's age, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
I grew up on Dark Room and all that stuff. But with that being said, I appreciate Cujo, Misfit, you, Lottie the G.
Thank you, man.
Really good music. I support it 100%. I don't got a lot of feria, but what I got, I will invest in it because I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man. That means a lot, bro. Thank you very much.
No. You sabes que keep doing it. You know, these kids, they don't understand that sometimes you're not just speaking on stuff. You and a lot of gente have done a lot of years behind the walls to earn the right to speak on stuff.
Most definitely.
And I understand where you and I understand where you get upset, and rightfully so. So sabes que I just want to tell you guys, say thank you. I'm going to keep supporting you guys. And Tony, you got to put Cujo back on Freaky Tales, homie. That fool cracks me up, man. I mean, I know you get a lot of the Spence. I know you get a lot of hate mail and this and that, but I'm one of those fools that support him, man. That fool's funny as hell, man. That kid has got something special.
Yes.
And you know what, Sabes que, hey, I wish you the best, homie, both of you. Obviously, Tony A, you're on your way. You've been there, and Bozo, forget about it. The sky's the limit, homie.
Thank you, brother.
All right, so I appreciate you guys. Buenas noches.
Yes.
Que Dios los bendiga, and I'll see you guys real soon, here or there. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
Okay, my brotber. You have a blessed one. Thank you. And I'll work on getting Cujo back.
You guys too.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right, we're good, man. Unless you want to keep going, it's up to you.
I don't mind. It's up to you, big dog.
Well, it's 9:40. I don't know. Well, let's take another one.
Yeah.
This one's I think it's a San Diego. Hello. Caller, where are you calling from?
Hello. Hey, I'm calling from Escondido, California.
Yes.
Beautiful down
I want to send a big shout out to you, Tony, and to Bozo. And the question I had is, Descanse Boss, the homie freaking stomper. But what I really want, and really Bozo can do it, I want a Bozo and Stomper album.
And who?
That's what we need. A Bozo and Stomper album.
Oh man, that's probably not gonna happen, bro. Like I think that there wasn't that much material left behind, you know. My homie's health started deteriorating like a while back, you know what I mean? Right. It just wasn't public because he didn't want to make it public, you know. So we'll see what we can do as far as like a track or two, but yeah, I wish, trust me.
We gotta let the big homie Spirit know that we still love him. That what he left behind, he left a gang of motherfuckers that love his music, me, my wife, my family, like a gang of homies that I know love this music. And man, when the homie passed away, that shit hit my corazón, dog. Like
Appreciate it.
that was that motherfucker like touched so many lives, dog. I mean, no one even talks about this. Easy come, easy go. And no one ever done a song that fucking hard. And no one done a song like that.
Thank you, man.
And even the Conejo compilation he did, that whole album was fucking fire. And gracias a Dios, the homie gave me a free copy of that. So you know what, man? I want the homie to feel this love. I want him seriously to feel this love. You know?
Yeah, thank you.
Like,
Appreciate
damn,
it.
dog, like
All
no
good, man.
one's ever gonna touch anybody. You know? So I want to thank Tony A.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Bozo.
Thank you, homie.
Que Dios los bendiga.
Igualmente,
And
carnal.
continue your work, carnal.
Thank
Yes, sir,
you.
brother. Have a blessed night.
Bye-bye.
You know, just to let you know, first of all, I want to say rest in peace, Stomper.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I also want to say that we had been in contact, but he had canceled like 3 times, and now I know why.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last call. This is it, because I'm going to go get a drink. Caller, where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Anthony, dog.
Anthony.
What's up?
What's up, doggy? How you been, my boy?
Good. What Anthony? Is this my old Celly Anthony or what Anthony is this?
Yeah, I already know, my boy. I just want to send my full blast to you, Tony A.
That's my old Celly,
and
man. What's up,
just keep
fool?
doing what you're doing, dog.
Mandatory.
What's
Hey,
up,
you already
doggy?
know how I move, fool. You already know, dog. I ain't
Hey,
tripping.
boy. Hey, man. I appreciate all the music you're putting out, man. You're feeding the streets.
Thank you.
You know, the love's always going to be there, dog.
For sure.
CMR to both you, Tony A.
Yes, sir.
Bozo, the team.
Thank
you. You know, it ain't nothing without you fools, man. You guys are still repping the Raza pretty tough. And it goes a long way, dog. And shake the fake, and you already know, man. Salute, dog.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, fool. Love you, fool.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to the homie Hitman, who's always, you know, been a part of it and continues, and the sky's the limit, dog. You already know, fool, where my love's at and where the rest of the homies are at, dog.
Igualmente, fool.
Stay up, fool. Love you, fool. I love you, dog.
Love you too, my boy.
All right, my brother.
All right, doggy. You have a good night, man.
You too, my bro. You too. All good, brother. You know what? I'm gonna go get a damn drink, everybody. Thank you for calling in, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. That was entertaining.
Yeah. Weird ass fool following me.
No.
Weird ass motherfucker.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm asking you for Roadium radio purposes. Was that the only time you ever like spoke to him?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was actually a Roadium radio
because
exclusive.
listen, this fool is following me, obviously, right?
Right.
Because he saw my post, right? And then after that post, he made his YouTube video and uploaded it all about me, a whole fucking, you know what I mean? So honestly, the only reason I answered about him is because you asked me.
Yes.
Other than that, like that shit is irrelevant to me. Like people like that, you know, whatever, you know, let them be where they're at, dog. Like I really don't give a fuck. But for a man like that to try to insult me, it's never gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could say whatever you want, like it's not gonna work.
Right. I'm trying to log off this motherfucker.
I'm here for a reason, and he's watching for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
There's
I'm trying
levels to this shit, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to log off this motherfucker. And people. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not taking no more phone calls for the night. I'm trying to get out of here. We're going to take some pictures, and then I'm going to get a drink, and then I'm going to call it a night. So I appreciate everyone for calling, for being a part of the show, for liking, commenting.
Man. Appreciate you guys. The album's coming out.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that.
The album's coming out Friday. Street got 2. I got A1A Robs on it. I got Scheme on it. I got Eastside Mayor on it. I got Sucker Free. I got King Lil G. I got Sad Boy Loco. I got Rich Garcia on it. It's a fan first project.
Okay.
Shout out to my business partner Steve. Shout out to Dope Man, Peep CNT. Shout out to Hitman. Shout out to my shooter Graphic by Nature, the homies at Eternal Studios. Shout out to Peace. Shout out to Chunky Chan. Shout out to Ace Beats that produced most of the beats on my album. Peace engineered the whole album. What else, man?
Do you have any Ernie's production on there?
No, not on this album. Okay. None. Ernie produces my own complete albums. Okay. Like these are split projects that I do with the label. Okay. We do 50-50 splits just like any other business partner. When I do my individual projects, he does everything. Okay. Ernie does everything. So Ernie did King Goon and Goon Play. He even did Revenge is a Promise, the original when I first got out of prison. Poor Ernie, I used to send him fucking sessions from a closet, fool. No fucking booth, no nothing. He'd be like, I'm gonna do my best. Be like, hey, OG, like, do it. Like, fuck it. But Ernie's been fucking with me literally since I was 4 days out of prison, you know?
Okay.
My homeboy Stomper took me over there for the very first time. And me and Ernie are friends, fool. Like, that's my boy, you know?
Yeah.
Great, dude. I fucking love the shit out of Ernie. But everybody I fuck with, though, you know? Like, anybody that I really fuck with, like, we're family, bro. Like, we don't really just do this rap shit. Like, we really, you know, break bread. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But yeah, man, I'm dropping the video with Sad Boy Loco called Blue Homies. I'm dropping that this next upcoming Friday, which is June 4th. Yeah, so.
Have you, I believe you dropped already a song with him, or not yet?
No, I haven't. I just dropped a single with King Lil G so far.
Okay, then it must have been a post that I saw.
Yeah, I've been doing the promo clip just to, you know, give people teasers of it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm finally dropping it this Friday along with the whole album, you know?
Okay. Other than that, man, you know what? I just want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for being transparent, bro.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I really appreciate it. It's a little different for me, and I really enjoyed it. And it won't be the last time, bro, but I want to thank you.
Yeah, likewise, man. Continue to grind, man.
And
everybody out there, stay working.
Yeah. Other than that, let me give my shout out to, we're out of here, Alex Cervantes for running this ship. Cervantes Enterprise. Also want to thank Anthony, the Hip Hop Jedi. Also my son B Scalens for helping me promote this. Other than that, Raza is on the rise. Eventually, I will start that unsigned hype here on the channel, along with my on my Instagram page. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comments, all that good stuff. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys tuned in. So we want to thank you. Have a blessed night. This week, I have 2 shows on Wednesday and Thursday, and I'll start promoting it tomorrow. Other than that, have a good one. We're out of here.